Hey everyone, it's me, Pigeon Wishes, your resident Pigeon Fae from the UK, and today we're playing more game. We're continuing with the detective competition because it's fun, and I want to, and I make the rules. Ha 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 ha. There. Hi Mura, hi Sarul, hi Mort. Mort, you're pink today. That's unusual. Usually you are purple. But you are pink today. Hi Junie. You were pink. That was unusual. Normally you are purple. But anyway, I'm doing good. I'm chilling out, getting stuff ready for next month's debut. Starting to research artists and stuff. Purple is a good colour. I like having my yellow. So today's been very busy with me making new emotes and like researching artists and stuff so that I can make some decisions by the end of this month, ready for next month. It's a good model. It's a good model so far. I've only had the first tester back, but it's a pretty good model, and the emotes are funny. I've improved a lot in my emote making. At some point I'll have to go back and remake some of the old ones that are a bit shit. But I'm excited. And like nervous, because I know it has a lot of potential. This next model has like a fuck ton of potential to go absolutely fucking insane. And like, I've just got to make sure that I'm doing enough that actually happens. I gotta make sure this next debut is big enough, because like, it could pop off. I'm not joking when I say this next model could pop off. It's very good. Hi Zeb. Yeah, the pigeon situation is insane. In fact, actually the situation is insane. It's crazy how much new model happening fucking makes me so anxious, but at the same time, excited. Ever since I got that update, I've been like on a speed run to make new emotes and like make sure that I have enough artwork for promo stuff. Damn, Murder, you've reached 90 streams! Fucking hell! And Mort is at 15. That's crazy. That's actually fucking insane. I've got a while yet. We're doing it for my birthday, so I've got a while yet. But I wanted to do something big for my 25th. So that's why we're having a big model debut then. And I'm just kind of sowing the seeds now, starting to get people hyped for shit. And eventually I gotta start posting memes and stuff. Do I have any fun musings? Any fun, interesting things? Not really. Today was a mostly chill day. I had a bit of a panic earlier and had to rush to have a shower in like 5 minutes. Because I thought I had the fucking dentist, but then apparently they'd cancelled it. Like that's my day today, is rush to get ready, only to realise that it's been cancelled. I fucking hate when they do that, because they always tell you last minute as well. Because really, I should have been on my way to the dentist's when they messaged me to tell me that it had been cancelled. Oh no. Shrug. Let's get into the game though. Let's actually play the game that we're here to play. If I can... Let's see how my short-term memory is treating me today. Chapter 41. When I feel emotions, they are strong emotions. After falsely accusing Macy Drew of arson and murder 10 years prior, Detective Ashdown's career spiraled downward. But he was promised to sweep his grudge under the rug, so that Macy will help them gain the system of the mysterious detective competition. Cool, yeah, that's settled. Yes, completely settled. Even though she ruined my life. Even though you ruined my life. What? You didn't think accusing someone of murder would affect their life negatively in any way? Of course it would, but it's so much worse for me. Oh, really? Yes, I lost my job, Macy. You and your fancy lawyer dad made the case disappear. And you got to continue as an amateur sleuth, solving crimes la-di-da-di-da. Meanwhile, the true killer still roams free, no thanks to you. You may have lost your job, but I was never hired for one. You effectively cut off any means to support myself. And in terms of bringing the true killer to justice, nothing impeded my investigation more than being accused of the murder myself. That's the real reason the true killer roams free. Oh yeah? Well, actually, you know what? Actually, that makes a lot of sense. But I'm willing to overlook it, because like you, Ashdown, I believe the true killer may be in this competition. And the reason is the motive. What's the motive? The motive of the murder of Mr. York was to create a trap in order to kill me. What? So the killer is your ultimate arch nemesis or something? No. Killer's goal is to kill detectives. I was just someone on their list. Everyone in the contest is in danger. That's why it's beneficial for both of us, Ashdown, to put our ruined careers aside and focus on stopping the killer. And we can't stop the killer if you're no longer in the contest. That is the only reason why I'm willing to help you. I see. Well, I'd apologize, but at this point, what good would it do? I'm such a joke. Don't say that, Ashdown. Okay, I won't. You can say it a little. To be honest, it makes me feel better. But enough pettiness. Are you ready to do whatever it takes to take down the killer, Ashdown? Spent a decade of my life obsessing over this case. Now isn't the time for me to stop. So in short, yes. Good. Be prepared to do what I tell you to do. I have more knowledge about the inner workings of this contest than anyone else on the train. And I know the entire contest has been biased and unfair. And the reason is, you're not playing with an honest actor. The contest rules are outlined by the Game Master are incomplete. You aren't operating with a full deck of cards, in other words. There are a few hidden roles in the contest, and those hidden roles are the key to winning. Meet me back here in 1 hour. See you then. As she left, I was briefly worried that I'd never see her again. Whether by the detective killer's hand, or the Game Master's. I tried to refocus on less paranoid thoughts. Yes, you finally talked about the arson case. Was that so bad? Yes, it was. I just learned that I ruined someone else's career, on top of destroying my own. Yeah, it's pretty obvious right from the start. But everything's fine now, right? I don't know. I've tried to think about the crime without pinning it on Macy, even though my conclusion was rash and largely illogical. There was just nobody else involved with the crime. The murder victim's friends and family turned up no leads. But if the killer's goal was to trap Macy Drew, then they didn't need to pick anyone special. So that explains why there is no personal connection. What about any other murders at the time? There were some, I think, but I didn't look into them because I never made the connection. Instead, I wasted my time looking for reasons Macy could have done it. There's no other word for it. I've been a complete idiot. Yeah. Time for me to go bash my head against a wall for an hour.
Okay, I'll see you later.
At this point, the only way I could be able to redeem myself was by helping Macy catch the killer. I had a vague sense that the killer would be in the contest, but Macy had confirmed it, which meant she had to know something about the killer's true identity. That gave me hope. After 10 years, would we finally catch the Invisible Man? Chapter 42. The Plot. Detective Ashdown has changed his mind about the arson case after hearing Macy's side of the story. This contest may be his best chance to catch the killer known as the Invisible Man.
Hey, Ashdown. Finished bashing your head on the wall yet?
Just one more bash. Ouch. I'm done.
Macy's about to share the details of her new plan.
Great. Hope it doesn't involve teeth.
Even if it does, you said you'd follow her lead.
Yeah, I know. And I will.
Admitting you were wrong, acknowledging your mistake, and vowing to do better. Maturity! Hell yeah. Okay, let's go.
Okay. Even though it was entirely the wrong energy for the situation, she was making me feel a bit better. When we arrived at the dining car, there was a mild surprise awaiting us. Norman. Oh, look, it's the other unlikable detectives are here. Let's all be unlikable together. Sounds good to me. Does this mean you've decided to cheat after all? Problem is that I have no way to appeal to the Game Master. I'm a disgusting detective, as you all know. However, Macy Drew has assured me her plan does not involve appealing to the Game Master. Therefore, it could work for me. And all of us here in 4th class. Ashdown, Rose, Norman, Michael, Fox, Gillian, Trinan, Ginter. Where's Russell and Norman? Where's Russell, Norman? He said he doesn't want to cheat. He hasn't bought into my bias theory yet. He has fallen for the propaganda of the Game Master. There's no saving him. Roman isn't participating either, but she promised to stay out of her way. Like a certain disgusting detective. Hey, I never ratted you out to the Game Master. That was a misunderstanding. You're truly dense if you don't realize the Game Master has cameras and microphones set up everywhere. He knew your plan immediately. That is correct. And that's why we have to take drastic measures to avoid these microphones and cameras ourselves. Macy pressed something near the booth. There was a click, and a panel on the side of the train slid aside. Beyond it, a highway rushed past. This is one of the secrets of the train. A hidden platform. After you. She gestured at me. It was time to prove I meant what I said when I promised to follow her orders. I crouched and stepped through the opening. The wind was rushing past. I gripped the rail tighter. The flimsy-looking metal wasn't helping my fear of falling off a moving train. It would be easy for someone to push me off. The others joined me on the platform. Though it was small, somehow there was room for all of us.
This platform's built for maintenance, but it's also the only place on the entire train where the Game Master can't hear you. Let me be brief so that we don't have to spend too much time out here. There's a hidden rule in the contest. It's not something that directly allows you to cheat, but combined with the Game Master's bias, it's possible it could help you move up the rankings. And that rule is a forced partner swap. What? Why would anyone want to force a partner swap? Just because nobody would do it doesn't mean they can't do it.
It would never have occurred to me. But wait, aren't partner swaps not happening at this stage?
Yes, the automatic partner swaps. But the forced swap is different. You can force a swap at any time. Just like the automatic swaps, you get paired with a new detective. And the Game Master's bias applies just as much as the rankings. He likes to match detectives with suitable partners. If he sees someone who would match well with another detective, he'll make sure to pair them up. So he's shipping detectives with each other. Exactly. We're gonna make the Game Master match you with the top tier detectives.
Wait. But if the swap occurs within classes? This will accomplish nothing.
Trust me. Remember, Just because the Game Master says something, that doesn't actually make it a rule in the contest.
What? Then what is reality? That's quite a leap.
There is a rulebook. The Game Master's the only one in possession of the rulebook. As long as he follows every rule in the book, he can make up as many extra rules as he wants, or so he thinks. I've seen the rulebook. That's how I know the forced partner swap rule. And that's how I know the whole keep your partner swapping within classes thing isn't true.
How did you see the rulebook? Have you met the Game Master?
It was very difficult. Took a lot of snipping around, but that's what I'm known for. I've not yet met the Game Master.
You telling me you're gonna swap out partners?
Yes.
Sorry, but I'm not up for that. Even if the plan works, I'm done swapping partners. I'm sticking with Rogman. She's the only person who gets me.
That's fine. You mean to continue helping the rest of us?
Yeah. Yeah, I can do that.
Good. We'll arrive at the next location soon, so it's important to get over everything now. To make this work, try aiming for whichever top-tier detective you want to end up with. Decide who that will be. Fox, who would you want to end up with?
Red.
What about you, Julian? I need to teach him about proper eccentricities. There's the no-good Sherlock Holmes ripoff. It's so blatantly...
This is my kind of detective. He's so dreamy. Why does everyone like Slake so much? Charismatic sarcasm.
Jordan?
Detective ends. I already know her a little. And it might be easier to only grow up one class.
No, ma'am.
Detective says. You're such a charming method.
Ashdown woes.
I really didn't want to force a partner swap. Woes didn't look too happy about it either. Once we're at the top of the rankings,
will we be able to get back together with our role partners? It's possible. If you solidify your identity as the top-ranking detective.
okay.
I'm gonna aim for detective now. I think we could get along. How about you, Ashdown?
I think that just leaves Detective Rule.
Great.
So, Clown Boy is who they're calling Heck because they think he's one heck of a detective. They mentioned it earlier. So, Ginger Lady obsessed with Sherlock Holmes wants Clown Boy. But his actual name is 783, I want to say, now? Because he solved another crime, and I think it was 782 last time we saw him. Because every time he solves a crime, his number goes up. But they do know his real name. The Game Masters know his real name, because he was forced to scratch it out on his name plaque.
I'm glad to see everyone eager to participate. When we return to the dining car, you need to say the words. I'm forcing a partner swap. The Game Master will have to abide by the rulebook. Only one of you in each pair needs to say it.
Got it.
Ready?
I was not ready. Macy ducked back into the train car. We followed after her. I'm forcing a partner swap.
A lot of words there. Nice going, Fox.
I'm forcing a partner swap. Goodbye, Russell, wherever you are. Probably busy with your card games. I'm forcing a partner swap. It was fun while it lasted, Turnan. Let's win for once, Mackle. Do you want to say it?
Not really, but I will. I'm forcing a partner swap.
Well played, Macy. This is indeed a way to cheat. Whereas your new partner is Mackle. Fox, your new partner is Russell. Naming your paired with Gillian. No, please, no. Ashdown, you're no paired with Tronan. The problem with this idea, Macy, is the nature of a forced swap. An automatic swap implies it's random. However, forced swap allows curation. So even though, as you correctly pointed out, I don't need to confine it to the classes, there's nothing stopping me from simply pairing everyone with people in their own class. Before you tell everyone to swap again, you can't force a swap more than once around. That's in the rule book. I'm sorry. You failed. Yeah, I thought immediately that they were going to probably do that. Chapter 43. Incompatible is my middle name. The Game Master thwarted Macy Drew's plan to help the 4th class detectives cheat, and now everyone's partners have been swapped out, thanks to a hidden rule in the mysterious detective competition. Well, they heard the planning at least. There's no point going outside if they hear you coming up to it. And I guess they probably just figured out what she was trying to do anyway, because the people running it aren't idiots. It was such a mistake to trust Macy to get it right. I'm sorry. I should have just led the team myself. It's okay. Then the end of the world. There's no eliminations rule is still in effect. We still got 4 more rounds. We can figure this out. Wow, inspirational. She was texting again. Any trips how to work with Tronin? She's difficult. You're gonna have to have a really tough time. I hope you're joking. Maybe I am. If you drop me a few dollars, I'll say nice things about you to her. And if you don't, I'll say honest things. That won't work, you little extortionist. Do I look like I have any money? Yeah, you do. I got this at Goodwill. Okay, maybe we can trade tips. Is there something I should know about getting on Woe's good side? No. She gets along with pretty much everybody. Even me. Oh. Woes doesn't care about what people say something is. She only believes what she experiences. The complete opposite of you, then. The Game Master must have loved the contrast. He probably also knew we had previously worked together. Maybe he thought we'd be good partners. He thought wrong. Look at our rankings. We're doing terribly. Well, good luck. Maybe Tronin will be a better fit. But maybe not. She's stranger than she seems. She'll ask you a lot of probing questions. It's better to be honest with her. She's the people detective. She'll be able to tell if help you if you're honest. Help me with what? You know, all your baggage and an acetonic nature. Trying not to take this personally. But whatever you do, don't make fun of her. She's got a brilliant comeback for every possible insult. I would never do that. Did you do that? Yeah. Okay then. Well, see you around. The longer I talk to Mackle, the sooner I would be made fun of. Okay, bye P-Brain. And there it is. She left. It was time to meet Tronin. Again. She had swapped rooms with Woes. This whole deal was very confusing. The real shame Macy's plan didn't work out. Felt like we were spinning our wheels, coming up with plan after plan. Nothing was working, and time was running out. I opened the door to the room to find Tronin shoving a large pile of clothes into the drawer. The smell of cigarette smoke was everywhere. Ugh. Standing in the ventilated hallway in the dining car with her had subdued the unmistakable scent of tobacco. Now that we were within close proximity, it was repugnantly obvious. You don't mind smoking? It wasn't a question. I sighed and refrained from making a comment. Is Ashton your first or last name? Last name, obviously. It was not obvious. What about you? It is neither. Oh, what? She casually slipped her rings on her fingers and off with her thumbs. I had an old name changed to Tronin Trouble Danger Fat Lazy. As she spoke, she threw the rings on the bed, and I could see that each one had her many names etched onto it. I assume so you can say, for instance, my middle name is Danger, before beginning to hunt down a dangerous criminal. She nodded. What I don't get is why you'd say my middle name is Fat. Do you want an excuse to stop dying or something? No, that one is for insults. If someone says you're fat, I can say, that's right, Tronin, Trouble, Danger, Fat, Lazy, nice to meet you. But what if someone gets more creative with their insults? I only gave you the short version of my name. She opened a nearby suitcase. It contained a large assortment of rings with different names on them. You know what, girl? Maybe you should see a therapist about this. This seems like a not good coping mechanism. This seems like an actually terrible coping mechanism, but go off, Queen. Why anyone would bother to do this just for a short and funny joke, I wondered. What is your method again? I memorize facts. 4th class seems like a good fit. Ouch. To the contrary, everyone tells me my facts are excellent. And my memorization ability helps me remember all the many detectives in the contest. No, Ashdown, this is bad. I don't think our methods are compatible at all. At least not in the way Mackles was with mine. We should have been crushing the competition. She's the objects detective, I am the people detective. It was true. I hadn't registered before, but Turner and Mackles' methods were a perfect match. Now it's facts and people. Could work. I don't think so, Ashdown. You clearly haven't mastered your ability. That is why you didn't do well in the contest. A bunch of facts are useless. They're relevant facts. And wait a minute, you aren't doing any better than I am. Your method combination was almost completely without flaws, so you have no excuse. Our personalities clashed. Yeah, that's really, I say it's really funny to think about, isn't it, Mort? And Cyril, if you go, she's just fucking... You insult her and she's like, I'll be back in 5 minutes, I gotta go find the ring for this. I see. Human error. Precisely. If only people would have what they were on paper. But understanding them as I do, you can't think of anyone that way. I try not to. There are so many people in this competition. Kind of just have to distill them to just remember them. That is dangerous, Ashdown. The people are what matter, not the mysteries. That gives me an idea. Maybe trying to climb in the ranks during the first 4 rounds doesn't make sense. Our best shot would be the voting round, the 5th round. If we convince people to vote for us, that won't work. If you've really been paying attention, you'll know why. The rankings never change significantly during the final round. I think other detectives must already be used to how it is. Or, like Norman was saying, the Game Master is tweaking them. Yes. If he is right, then we may be doomed. The Game Master sounded angry at us. He may be the type to hold a grudge. But maybe not. He's mercurial. He shifts moods a lot, sometimes announcement to announcement. It's hard to pin him down. He changes his cadence and voice frequently. My pet theory is that he has dissociative identity disorder. That would certainly be a twist. Wonder if it would change that much though, all said and done. Probably not. She coughed, her voice getting more and more raspy. How often do you usually talk? Rarely. Something's up with this contest, Ashdown. You've got to be more willing to question things. She's so close. Because we know the answer is that there's actually multiple Game Masters. Because we've seen them. But it's so interesting seeing characters be so close yet so far. Right? I feel like... So, Cyril, to explain the fact that he's the facts detective, Ashdown. Ashdown is the facts detective, meaning he has memorized the entirety of Wikipedia. He memorizes random facts. He's just autistic. Basically, the best way to describe him is he's just autistic. That's it. He remembers facts. They're not necessarily even true. He remembers facts. That's it. The only case we've actually seen him solve himself, the flashback case that we saw earlier. He was in fact wrong about all of his facts. All of his facts were bullshit. Sometimes the facts are correct though. I'm checking them every time he says one, because I am the same kind of person as him. And question people. But even if you screw that up, you'll own up to it. That's the kind of person you are. Someone who takes responsibility for your mistakes. Though you do need to work a little on your self-awareness. And your willingness to change. Well, thanks. Okay, your 60-second therapy session is over. Oddly helpful. I looked away briefly and noticed a note on Tronin's bed. What's this? It was a very badly scrawled note from the Game Master. It simply read, Nevada. Guess this means we're going to Vegas. It didn't. Wonderful. Winning is my middle name. My middle name is blank, because I don't have one. That's too bad. You can have one name. You can have 3 names. But never have 2 names. What about 1 million names engraved on different rings that you wear on your hands? That is the best way to go about it. I see. Look, I don't know if I'll get along great with you, but this is the hand we have been dealt. Let's try to make the best of it. Agreed. I hope we get back to WoW soon. I hope I get back to Mackle. It was a great pact between people who didn't want to work together. But it was the most connected I felt to anyone in the contest yet. There was a little voice inside me that said, maybe this one will work out. It was wrong. I think the trouble is that her form of being a detective is useless in this competition. Because being the people detective doesn't mean jack shit when you're not dealing with people. They're dealing with mannequins. And the crimes are all fake. So there's no people for her really to be detectiving. So she's just a bad fit for this competition. She could be a really good detective, but she's a bad fit for the competition. And I think that's probably why she's in the 4th carriage. Chapter 44. Unveiling Things. Ashton's properly met his new partner in the mysterious detective competition, but now it's time for the 2nd round. Hot. Very, very hot. It is a desert. Our brains were struggling to function in the heat. I think I'm hallucinating. Already? I'm seeing a car on top of that obelisk. That's ridiculous. It has only been seconds since we stepped out of the cool interior of the train. How we'd managed to travel all the way to the middle of Nevada desert with the AC intact was nothing short of a miracle. I'm not kidding though. I can see a car up there. Do you see it? Yes. How the fuck did they get the megaphones up there, is my question. How the fuck did they dig the megaphones into the fucking... Like, this has had to have some immense amount of planning. Welcome to stage 3. My ears. Sorry. Stage 3, round 2. This mystery is called Car on a Cliff. Will you be able to make sense of this strange scenario? Here is the case file as usual. Mr. Jukes is found after 4 days missing, dead in the car on top of an obelisk in Nevada desert. Miss Splat was found nearby. The quarrelling couple had recently lost all their money gambling. Their son, initially presumed guilty, was nowhere near Nevada when they died. We do not have access to the autopsy report. Special bonus. What is the motive? Well, no, to me... Oh, we've got to remember there's a red herring in all of these ones, isn't there? Okay, thinking. What could be the red herring here as well? Because each of these cases in this round have a red herring. That's the gimmick. Like before, you'll have to point out which piece of evidence is a red herring. Cronin looked incredulous. Are you kidding me? Mysteries sure are weird this stage. Well, no time like the present time. Let's solve this ridiculous mystery. The central question was, what was this car doing on a cliff? Miss Splat, these names. Looks like she was crushed by these rocks. Yes, I think that's the obvious conclusion we can come to after looking at this. But maybe, just maybe, we're wrong. How are we wrong? I don't know. Let's just go with our first conclusion for now. The desert heat was certainly screwing with my acuity. No, because I think what's happened is that was a land bridge. She was walking across the land bridge to leave, and it's collapsed from out under her. This is Mr. Jeeps. His chest is written victim with a question mark. What's that about? Perhaps we are not to know if he's truly the victim or not. Wonder what kind of car this is. Mako would have been able to tell me. Well, I don't like gathering facts about cars. Is there anything you know that could be useful here? Don't know, the heat is giving me a headache. Is this dummy yellow? That's a color we haven't seen yet. Wonder what it could mean. It makes me think of the sun. Yes, a straightforward conclusion. It's possible he died from dehydration. It's possible. How long can someone survive without water? Hoo-ha! Time to impress Tronin with my incredible method. You can only survive for a water for 3 days. That is correct. That's a true fact. You can survive for water for 3 days, and I think the longest anyone has survived without food, I want to say it is. Obviously, it varies. Yeah, it varies based on condition and the size of the person when they started not eating. But the longest recorded time, I think, is about 300 days, I want to say. Without food is about 300 odd days. Let me look it up though. That's the record, by the way. The longest recorded time without solid food is 382 days. But the guy was 468 pounds and dropped to 180 pounds. And that was under medical supervision, he wasn't. Okay, that doesn't count because he still had water, tea, coffee, and vitamins. He was on like basically a saline pouch the whole time. It's 21 year and 28 days without any solid food, but that doesn't really count because he was doing it under medical supervision and he was having like all of his stuff given to him via IV drip. I don't know. They can't really give me an answer here. They only just tell me about this same guy. We could survive for about 70 days without food. 70 days, they say, you can survive without food. In general, the average person, about 70 days. Eating nothing before your body shuts down due to kidney failure. But I've heard the rule of threes as well, but I didn't know if that was maybe just like an exaggeration or like something someone made up at some point because it sounded good, because that happens a lot with medical stuff. Because I'd heard the 3 weeks water, 3 minutes oxygen, 3 weeks food. I've heard that before. But I don't think it's actually true. Because all it takes is a minute deprived of oxygen to have brain damage. Right? I'm pretty sure that's it. Like, it's a minute without oxygen and you start sustaining brain damage. I feel like I don't know the red herring yet, but I do feel like the boulders at the bottom of the cliff indicate that she wasn't crushed by the cliff as much as she fell when the cliff collapsed. Also, hi Belladonna. And the case file says he was found after 4 days. In the middle of a scorching desert, that's basically enough time to die. Now we have to figure out why he was on this obelisk. It was time for a brilliant analysis. Seems like we've examined all the evidence. Yes, took forever to climb that obelisk. Primary question in this mystery is, how did that car get on the cliff? Yeah, actually no, you're true. That is correct. Some people do train to hold their breath for longer than a minute. Because you've got the ama divers in Japan, they hold their breath for a lot longer than a minute. Let me look this up. How long no oxygen before brain damage? Okay, no, I was just incorrect. It's 4 to 5 minutes before you start to sustain brain damage serious enough to cause long-term issues. It's good I fact-checked myself. It is very perplexing. Don't worry, Turnin. I think I know the answer. Those rocks below the obelisk, they used to be a rock bridge. A rock bridge? Oh yes, I guess that makes sense. Maybe it was a weak rock bridge, and it would crumble under the slightest touch. Okay, but that begs the question. Why was the car driven the bridge to the obelisk? To kill Mr. Jeeps? Interesting, how would that work though? Mrs. Splat is all the way down here. Well, she didn't start down there, obviously. And why would she be dead herself if she is the murderer? Stop asking so many difficult questions. Just trying to help. Maybe it's something we missed at the crime scene. It's usually what happens to me. It's worth a shot. Explosive device on the obelisk. I don't know what that means. Is someone planning to blow up the car? Good thing we looked here before submitting our answer. Indeed. Yeah, because you have those people who, that's why you do the ice dunks after you do a sauna. Because it helps with the oxygen. Like, it helps the oxygen flow around your body. Because it also helps your pores and stuff, from what I've heard. Because your pores get really open when you're hot. And then when you're cold, so when you go in the sauna, everything like loosens up and gets hot and wide. And then when you dunk yourself in the ice cold bath afterwards, it causes everything to suddenly contract. And I think it's supposed to be like really good for your skin and your body's blood oxygen levels, like the ability to move oxygen around your body. Well, that's the going theory. I don't know if that's true. Indeed. Seems Miss Splat had the ability to detonate the explosive device. Sure enough, there are more clues than I thought was there. Kind of piece this thing together. Well, this corroborates my theory. How? It's pretty simple. I think Miss Splat blew up the bridge. That is what she would have done based on what I analyzed in the case file. Oh yes, I was about to say that too. Great minds. Yes. Think alike. Yes, they do. This way they don't have to rely on an unstable bridge. If only Mackle were here, she could explain exactly how the device works. Yeah, and if Woes was here, she could, stand there encouragingly. Not that Woes wasn't helpful or anything, but Woes wasn't really that helpful. Okay, this makes sense, but why did Miss Splat end up dead? Wouldn't she have gotten out of the way? She could have tried for sure, but if the explosives went off accidentally, or she misjudged how much of the bridge would be destroyed, then she could have fallen to her death. Okay, I guess my only remaining question is, why did she blow up the bridge? Wanna blow up the car? Well, I can think of something. Working backwards from your conclusion, exactly what every good detective does when solving a crime. I think it was to conceal the crime. She wanted it to seem like an accident. She wanted people to assume the bridge had collapsed naturally, leaving Mr. Gibbs stranded. However, she never got the chance to hide the explosive device after destroying the bridge, because it was accidentally triggered too early. Seems like everything makes sense to me. How do you feel about it? An 8 out of 10. That's good enough for me. Now let's try to figure out which clue is the red herring. Good thing you remembered. I didn't. Was she the red herring? Are you sure about this, Ashdown? I was until you said that. The land bridge? The jeep? I could see for this one I couldn't figure out what was the red herring. Also, yeah, they shouldn't be mean to Woes. Woes is good. The car? Since it led me to think the bridge collapsed under its weight. It's a bit of a stretch, but this mystery is kind of vague. It is the best we've got. Whoa, you really seem to enjoy settling for less. Oh, look who is the people detective now. You. We almost forgot the bonus question. Oh no, actually I don't really care about it. It's important this time, Ashdown. It has to do with what the motive was for this crime. The motive? Not my strong suit. Alright. Well, let's take a look at the case file. It says they were both in debt. And they had a son. Seems as simple as Miss Splat trying to get Mr. Gibbs' life insurance. Just when I thought this mystery couldn't get any worse. It's a money motive. When will the agony stop? Soon, Ashdown. Soon. The solution you submitted was correct. However, you made too many errors. Your ranking will suffer as a result. Oh, great. Good thing there's no eliminations this stage. Yes, we're very lucky. Back to the wondrous air-conditioned interior of the train. I'm relieved. I'll see you around. Tronin? The train is that way. I know. I'm just going to look around a little. I'll be back. Okay. That's not weird at all. Chapter 45. The Watching Room. Part 9. Murder, murder, murder. What's going on? Have the game masters finally noticed the sinister developments in the mysterious detective competition? Everything always goes so slowly with Ashdown. Switching partners doesn't seem to have helped him at all. Well, we know he's bad. That's why he's agreed to do all these crazy cheating schemes. If he manages to cheat and rise up in the rankings, I'd actually be pretty impressed. Same goes for all these losers. I'm getting bored with them. Too bad we can't keep them out for cheating. Don't worry, Kane, they'll be gone soon. You just have to wait until the 4th stage. I'm enjoying them, actually. What doesn't kill the contest makes it stronger. It's very valuable data, indeed. We should find some way to thank Macy. I'm not doing that. Ask the 5th. What do you think, 5th? The 5th didn't reply. He was busy arranging several butter knives so that they spelled out, I am a loser. It was a waste of calorie. I could think of dozens of brilliant office games that could be created using butter knives. Catapult the calendar for one. How was due on this one again? 5 minutes. She's working well with Mackle, the sassy detective. Derision dripped from her voice. Ken had been annoyed at Mackle ever since Mackle had made fun of her during the second stage round. A deadly idea. And she wasn't alone. All of the game masters have tolerated verbal abuse from her at one point or another. Mackle thinks she's so smart with her smuggled phone. She thinks we don't know. She's doing a terrible job at hiding it. All the first class detectives are incompetent, so there you go. Guys, what? The situation's gotten worse. What situation? You know, the Asper situation? Right. We'd received a report from the contact in Louisville that Detective Asper had been found dead. He'd been pricked with a poison needle. We were trying to find out the details. It was unclear whether he'd been killed by someone in the contest or not. How's it gotten worse? Well, I just found that Detective White was found murdered outside. Fortunately, the staff members were the ones who discovered him. This confirms what I thought. The killer's in the contest. Crikey. Now what? Do we keep the detectives in the dark? I say we do. We just upset them. Someone's bound to find out soon enough. Rumours are already spreading about Asper. You know what? That's a super easy solution to this mess. Love to hear it. Just ask Detective Honor to impersonate Detectives White and Asper until we figure out what's going on. Sure, but that means I'd have to let them know I'm a game master, right? Not necessarily. I'm not doing an Australian accent for him, don't worry. I'm not. My Australian accent is slightly better than that, but it's still so atrocious that I'm not going to make people do it, listen to me do it. I'm not entirely... yeah, because I think there's a red herring where they're trying to make it seem like the Indian one that we're currently partnered with is the one killing everyone, but I don't think she is. I wouldn't be surprised if it was Woes. Because we know... Because Woes would have also been in the place where the other detective murder happened, because she used to work with Asper. Or Ash. She worked with Ash. So, before he was made a detective. So we know she was in the place. I like Woes though, she's cool, but she does say some stuff and you're like, okay, you're hiding something. Awesome idea, Clark. That's what we need from the people, awesome ideas. Not garbage ideas. Alternatively known as smelly ideas. Very funny, Greg. Sex and camaraderie is why we make a great team. I disagree with all of this. We shouldn't keep detectives in the dark. This isn't a good team thing to say, Kane. I don't care. I want the detectives to just trust each other, but they should trust the Game Master. We should let them know. How about we compromise? If anyone else gets murdered, we'll let the detectives know, but so far there's only been 2 murders. We should go with Clark's awesome idea. Okay, that makes more some sense. Okay, I'll do what you guys suggested. Any update on Teds? They think the Game Master is in the conductor car of the criminal chain. In other words, they're clueless. You know, Melly, you could totally game the system and win this contest. That would be pretty funny. And we'd never forgive you. And I don't really care about winning the money, or anything anymore, for that matter. Besides, you just stopped me. Good point. Bad idea, Greg. I acknowledge that. Now then, let's find this killer. We were humouring Kane. The real intention was to keep the detectives in the dark forever if we could help it. If they knew how incompetently we'd been handling the situation, there could be a revolution. There's a couple people, actually, I think could be the detective murderer. But that's 2 more detectives out of the competition. Yeah, also there won't be a revolution. None of these detectives are smart enough to do that. They're supposed to be the smartest people, but all of them are fucking dumbasses. None of them would be able to pull off a revolution. None of them trust each other enough for that. After our brief excursion in the desert, we were both drenched in sweat. Is there Sharukar or something on this train? If there is, I haven't found it. Great. I think I'll ask the waiter to dump a glass of water on my head. Sounds good. I wish it was a shower. Seems like an oversight. When you first signed up to this contest, did it seem unofficial in a way? Oh yes. Most contests are filmed with camera crew and the broadcast with all sorts of trimmings and sparkles and whatnot. And the judge isn't anonymous. Right. Not that I'm complaining there isn't a camera crew filming all of this. They do have hidden cameras though. Yes, but they're not as being broadcast to the world as far as we know. Maybe if we were on camera, we'd be doing better in these rounds. We're still only ranked 16th. I don't think that's the issue. The issue is that we're just bad at these mysteries. And instead of trying to be better, we keep getting caught up in plans to cheat. Yeah, that's what I've been saying, occasionally. Why not just try to be better? 'Cause it's difficult. Working hard isn't something I enjoy. Lazy is my middle name, after all. Well, if that's really all that's keeping us back, then why don't we try it? Why don't we try trying for once? Never way to go but up, right? Well, we could be ranked 20th. True. But if we end up in 20th, we'll know that working hard doesn't help. Also true. Let's swap out lazy middle name for a new one. Diligent. No, I have to earn my diligent ring. But I like this idea. In theory. So I will try to, from now on. Great. Guess when we get to the next location, we'll try this new strategy. No, Ashton. We can't just sit here twiddling our thumbs. If we want to actually get better, we're going to have to train our abilities, even when we're not solving mysteries. Good point. What do you suggest we do? Meet here in an hour. First I have to be watered. Achoo! Excuse me. Somehow I got a cold in the desert. It can happen. See you later. As it turned out, Trennin's idea of how to train my method was an old-school adversary. Index cards. Yeah, they figured out the true way to win this competition is just to try. Please, any of you detectives, there are so many detectives. There are like 48 detectives in this competition and not a single fucker is actually trying. I think the only detective that's actually trying at all is maybe Nell. But it's her first day as a detective, so she can't expect to win. Like, there's only been like one detective who's actually been trying this entire time, and it's her first day. Keep in mind that this will help in the long run. She held up a new card which detailed an embalming process. Where did you get the information on these cards? Do they have an encyclopedia on board? No. I asked the other detectives. For facts about objects, I asked Mackle. For forensic information, I asked Norman, etc. What exactly kind of forensic information did no one give you? You'll find out. Just keep going. There is a fact. What is a fact about rigor mortis? Skin shrinks, making it look like the deceased's fingernails are growing longer. Correct. That is 1 out of 20 facts about rigor mortis. What is another one? I forced myself to refocus. When I'd finished reading a card, Trennin would try and hide it and ask me what it said. If I didn't answer verbatim, she'd throw something at me. It was a highly ineffective way to learn, but it was too late to tell her to improve the curriculum. Meanwhile, I've been working on a plan of my own. After asking Mackle to lend me her phone, I was able to use it to snap pictures of people, who I then asked personal questions of. Trennin had to identify certain things about the people from the pit photos, which I hoped would improve her method. Her biggest problem seemed to be her habit of assuming standoffish nature when meeting new people. I found a way around it, but hopefully we wouldn't factor into solving any mysteries in the contest. Soon it was the day of the third round. 60% improvement in 4 days. We have a good feeling about this. We don't have an excuse to slack off now. Let's get out here and win this round. Trennin lapsed into a fit of horrid coughing. Still getting over that cold? Yes, but I am ready. It will be nice to take a break from the grind of training with a nice relaxing murder. But are you ready to face the mean streets of Delaware? For some reason, the third round took place in Delaware. at the Delaware Art Museum. One of the most creative names for an art museum I'd ever heard. The Game Master had given some excuses to why it was Delaware instead of a cool place like San Francisco. Something about how it was the first state. This time the Game Master seemed to have duplicate crime scene set up, so the lines of detectives were shorter. We joined the line with newfound energy. Strange sound came over the speaker, and two detectives walked into a nearby gallery. What's that about? What are you fucking doing? What is he doing, chat? Chat, we know who this is. What is he doing? Chat, what is he doing? It's the clown, but he's wearing a disguise, and I don't know why. What have we missed in the first carriage? What have we missed in the first carriage? Because it feels like a lot. Why is the clown dressed like that? Just as the Game Master jingle, Sonny boy. It's been remixed every round. And I might add, get off my lawn. The strange detective appeared to be trying to come across as old, even though they didn't look old at all. I don't remember someone like you in the contest. Why, I'm Risker Blashy. So surely you've heard of me. No. And what voice did I do for him again? Because none of those were... I started doing the fucking Pinocchio voice. The shit Pinocchio voice. I did like a surfer voice for him, I think. Yeah, I think I had like a surfer voice for the clown. I care about artwork. That's why I'm here at the Delaware Art Museum. Caring about artwork and solving gruesome crimes. What's next? That's what I'm all about. I think I do recognize you after all. It's me, Richard Blashy. I've been here all along, but nobody pays attention to old men anymore. Youth these days. Want to hear a joke? No. A duck was eating a fish and it got caught in its throat. As it was choking, the photographer took its photo. And that's how the photographer won second place prize in the National Geographic Photography Contest. How's it a joke? Well, the moral of the joke is, sometimes when you're busy with something, people will exploit you for their own gain. Just like how some detectives might try to cheat in the contest by forcing a partner swap. And see how the joke is relevant. There's more to the joke. You see, the fish and the duck were working for National Geographic all along. Do you understand? Not really. I hope you will soon. I'm off to go feed the pigeons and fall down some steps. With that, he tripped and ran away. I don't care to comment on that experience. How about you? Yes, no comment. I had no idea what Heck was trying to do. Whatever it was, he wasn't doing it well. Do you think he was trying to intimidate us? It kind of came up that way. No. He was trying to warn us about something, but he was being way too vague about it for us to understand. Definitely too vague, yeah. Previous detective pair emerged from behind the corner. Since our enigmatic stalker, Risker Blashy, had left, we were next. Our training didn't help, then we were doomed for failure. Right, just because there's no elimination to this stage doesn't mean there's nothing to lose. We have to keep that in mind. And we have to do better this time. Yes. Would our training be enough? We entered the scene of the crime. The Game Master chime sounded. Time to go to work. Good evening, detectives. Welcome to round 3. Great artist steal. Here's the case file. Right, so we have Mr. Moccassant and Mr. Couselier. Mr. Moccassant, a famous stabbing artist, was caught late at night in Delaware Art Museum by a security guard. Mr. Couselier's gun went off at the time, but he denies killing Mrs. Moccassant. You do not have access to the autopsy report. What was he doing in the museum? Please note, I will be asking you to mark more than one red herring this round. The crimes are getting a little more complicated. Good luck. Right, first off, look at the paintings. This painting seems important. Looks like the victim died in front of it, judging by the bloodstain. Right, good observation. What's this? Stubbing my toe, acrylic on canvas. Pandret Mokosan's seminal work examines the self under extreme duress. The juxtaposition of the soft, dark colours with sharp lines and daring triangles creates a complex mood. Seems like this is Mr. Moccasin's own painting. So you're trying to steal his own painting from the museum. Definitely a starving artist. Yeah. Anything here? No. Just a lazy painting. Lazy? You have no idea how much effort was put into it. I know laziness when I see it. It is my middle name. Yeah. Statue with a pointy spear. Very, very pointy spear. I think this is the gun that was fired according to the case file. You're probably right. There isn't any other gun mentioned, is there? No. Mr. Moccasin. Shot right through the forehead. Right. The bullet Mr. Bludge somewhere inside his brain. We don't know for sure though, we don't have an autopsy report. True, but it's a reasonable assumption. Well, he was shot from behind. It's time for a brilliant analysis. Really nothing to solve here. What? This is probably a trick by the Game Master. The case file says Mr. Costellier robbed Mr. Moccasin, and nothing in the crime scene indicated that wasn't the case. Therefore, that's what happened. Sometimes you come across boring solutions. Like last round. That was pretty boring. It was, but... Right? Come on, Throne. You wanna win or not? I don't think we'll win if we give the wrong answer. Yeah, right. You might have a point. Where'd we go wrong? Let me guess. We'll take another look at the crime scene. Is there something about this gentleman we may have missed? Maybe he's a German after all. Maybe he's very rude. Does it look to you like his monocle is protruding from the canvas a little too much? Maybe it's just sloppy artistry. On closer inspection, it looks like there's a bullet lodged right in his eye. This seems important. Maybe this new clue would help put the puzzle together. Okay, now I think we're on the right track. Or is it the wrong track? I don't know. Since we discovered the bullet in the painting of the gentleman, I guess that means Mr. Costellier didn't kill Mr. Moccasin. That is the likely case. The case file says nothing about the multiple shots being fired. But if the gun didn't kill him, what did? Is there anything else that could have made that kind of wound? Well... What if it was the spear? Spear like the one in the statue's hand? Go on. Mr. Moccasin was scared by the gunshot. He stumbled backward and stabbed himself in the head accidentally. Then why was the blood stain in front of the painting? He fell down. But the statue was too far away for that to make sense. I know, but what other answer is there? You have to remember your training, Ashdown. You have to remember, don't be lazy. You're right. Let's look at the crime scene again. The gun. The spear. Shot through the forehead. Is there something about this painting we missed? Maybe. It's time to use my method. Now with more facts than ever before. Okay, sometimes protected by high security spring gates. Is this one protected by a gate like that? Yes. I think this is a very important clue, Ashdown. I think you're right. Oh, no. The gate, when it shut, fell on his head. And stabby stabby. Finally we discovered all the clues. Time to piece this thing together. That's gotta be everything, right? It all makes sense now. Yes. Mr. Moccasin was trying to steal his own painting. when he was caught by the security guard. The security guard shot at him and missed, hitting the painting. That is when something horrific happened. Mr. Markison accidentally activated the painting security gate before he could get out of the way. A bar in the gate crushed his skull, unfortunately looking the same as a bullet wound, which resulted in Mr. Casselier being wrongly blamed for the crime. Exactly, Ashton. This is it. I'm glad I stuck it through, so to speak. Now we just need to figure out what the red herrings are. You remember, the Game Master said there would be more than one red herring this round. And the gun? Obviously the statue and the gun. Yes, it is pretty obvious, though it wasn't at the time. Time to submit our solution? I think so. Oh yes, the bonus question. Right. What was Mr. Markison doing at the museum? Well, that is easy. He was here to steal his painting. Starving artists gotta eat. Submit. You are correct. The score on this mystery is 100%. Your answer to the bonus question was acceptable. Great. This is what a little training can do, Ashton. Should have tried it before. When we got back to the train, we were in for a surprise. Genter and Rumgun at 20th, Fox and Russell at there, Mackle and Woes at 18, Sally and George, who we haven't seen before, Norman and Gillian. Where are we? White and Porter. Well, we know White is dead. Nell and Day. We're 10th. We moved up to 10th place. Let's go. We placed 10th? Second class? I can't believe it. We're gonna have to go to a different car. Hey, don't forget us. I won't. I have you memorized. I'm moving up too. See you there soon. I hope so. If we did it, Ashton. The training, it paid off. Finally. Validation. Hey, we'll get to see Ains again. Yes. We have placed 10th. 10th? I repeated the number over and over again in my mind. What a perfect number. Let's head to the second right away. Cannot wait to see my new room. Like magic, my stuff had already been moved. There was a knock. Ronan opened the door. He had been wearing a goofy hat, which was now at his side. His long, straggly hair was splayed in wild directions, and the look of intensity in his eyes was unmistakable. Yeah, I'm not really a guy called Risky or... yeah, I'm not really a guy called Risky or Blashy. Yeah, we knew that, fucking... 780 whatever. We knew that. We knew that it was you. You're very easy to spot. You're not good at disguises. You still dressed like a clown. My dude, you were still a clown. Going from a clown to a slightly different clown is not a disguise. Chapter 47. The world is constantly turning. Ashton and Ronan have miraculously placed 10th, probably thanks to all their training, but now Detective 784 has shown up in Ashton's room. What does he want? How do I think I'd position? Well, based on how fucking everyone else is in this competition, I don't think I'd be first. I think I'd be in the top 5. I'd be in top 5 somewhere, but I doubt I'd be first, because there have been times in this competition where I have been marked slightly wrong. But then it's hard to tell once you're in real life, aren't you? A little bit harder to tell when you're experiencing it in person. Because I could be really shit in person. I could just be good at it in video games. What are you here for? You mean, what are you here, 5? It's 785 now. I really don't care. I'm here because it seems you ended up in second class despite placing low in the rankings for quite a long time. What about it? And I also know that Detective Macy Drew has been hanging around 4th class recently. Where do you hear that? From my good friend, Detective Slakes. What's the problem? I think Macy's helping you by having you cheat, you're wrong. Macy's helping the Game Master by having you cheat. Well, Macy didn't help me cheat, so... Oh, okay. Goodbye. Wait a minute. What do you mean? Oh, all that I meant is that Macy is a duck working with the National Geographic. She was hired by the Game Master. She's a staff member, just like Haiti. I thought she was just an extra detective or something. No, Macy Drew is a game tester. She's in the contest to see if there are ways to cheat the system, for the purpose of strengthening the system. So if that's true, then none of the plans she comes up with will ever work. That's right. Good thing you legitimately leaped straight to second class. I did. I didn't say you didn't. It was implied. Don't be so disparatory. Look on the bright side. You made it. Now you can inform your fourth class friends. I might. If I knew how you know all this about Macy. It's been Tad's project this stage to find the secret detective. Stakes was successful, but after further investigation we realized she wasn't like the other contestants. She's working for the Game Master, which means she knows the Game Master. Tad's goal is within reach. Why do you care so much about finding the Game Master's identity? I'm not sure, it was a good way to pass the time. Well, I'm off to juggle my worldly possessions. He left abruptly. On the floor, in his wake, was a solitary Oreo. Guess I should inform everyone before they waste more time with Macy. 785's warning rang true to me, but on the hand, Macy did seem to actually care about catching the Invisible Man. Did it really make sense to rat her out if she could be helpful in catching a killer? I decided to wait on it a little while longer. Train doors closed with a horrid squeak. The last detective stepped on, a timid, short, jittery man. I glanced at Tronin. She shook her head. We'd been spending our time waiting for the round to end by talking to the detectives coming back from the mystery to help Tronin hone her method. Fortunately, the detectives seemed to be least talkative right after solving the mystery, as opposed to before, when they were obnoxiously chatty. Things weren't looking good for Tronin's goal. A sharp but hollow chime stopped me from making a droll comment about our situation. Nah, 785 isn't the killer. We've played with 785 earlier in the game. He's not the killer. He's just an idiot. Well, no, that's a lie. He's smarter than he pretends to be. Which is why he's third place. Or was third place. But yeah, he's not the killer. I wouldn't be surprised if it was Woes. I also wouldn't be surprised if it was a character we haven't met yet. Detectives, please vacate the train halls and lock yourselves in your rooms until further instruction. This is a mandatory fire drill in case of a sudden fire. Please cooperate immediately. Nobody budged an inch. That's the biggest lie I've heard the Game Master tell in basically the whole contest. Likewise, why would I lock myself in a room during a fire? It's that rich smoke flavor you crave? Several detectives emerged from their rooms looking confused. The tall, heavy detective was quick to take charge. Game Master's dealing with the situation in third. Let's go. Maybe you'll reveal himself in the process. Detective Main, a detective with a considerable reputation, but one that had been formed within the contest and not before. He compared only on with Salite, a violent, unpredictable detective, and his ability to deal with her chaotic energy was impressive. No, nobody has started dying until after we got on the train. The first person died while on the train. What is going on? Hello again. Congratulations on reaching second. I was honestly rather underwhelmed by the mystery this round. But I could say all the mysteries in the contest. Ends was as usual, weakly leaning on every surface she could reach. Agreed. But I don't care about the mysteries anyway. I'm only about catching the killer who escaped me so long ago. Great, tragic backstory. Just great. Let's find out what all this commotion's about. In third class lounge, came across an unusual sight. 3 people I didn't recognise were surrounded by detectives. Strangers on the train? Is that the Game Master? Or the detectives we haven't seen yet? No, I have all the detectives memorised. The detectives have formed a tight ring around the strangers. They're engaged in a fierce stare-down. Are you the Game Master? No, that's an odd question to ask. I only ask odd questions to odd people. What? You're the odd people.
Honey, he must be in your patriotic attire.
That's true, it must seem odd for me to be so patriotic. Not really. You don't get it. That's the French flag. I'm French and I'm wearing the flag on my hat. It's very strange in hindsight. It's the French flag. The situation was so weird that nobody knew what to say.
Are you all on vacation too?
This train goes to Canada? No, it doesn't. It was getting stranger by the second. I'm Calvin Maine, nice to meet you. Well, I'm Peter Kinyes. I'm tempted to do the French accent. I'm tempted. I'm going to refrain. And this honey Kinyes, my son Pierre. But he doesn't speak, he's very shy.
We're going on vacation.
I see. A vacation. How could you, after what happened? We all held our breath waiting for Peter's reply. None of us had seen a glimpse of the outside world since the contest began. Even when the train stopped, there hadn't been a sign of any civilians. We had access to the real people who might know something of the current events. It was a great chance to learn what was going on outside the contest walls. Huh? Do you mean the murders? Yeah, I am going to do the accent, I decided actually. I'm trying not to do too many accents so that I can save them for when I get someone who really fits them. But I doubt I'm going to come across someone who's French again. There was a grunt and the sounds of a brief scuffle, and the waiter from earlier shoved Detective Rowell aside, pausing her to drop her cane.
Excuse me, you have the wrong train.
What? That is absurd.
This train is parked in the middle of the street. It is obviously some kind of tourist trap, right?
No, I'm sorry, this is a private train. The staff member attempted to lightly push the group out of the car. What are you saying, private train? I'm sorry, I have to stand my ground. We are looking forward to vacation and... Me and the rest of the detectives watched in shock as the waiter kicked Peter in the chest, sending him backward, bumping into Hanny and Pierre. It was kind of a moment I wish I'd captured on video.
Mind the gap.
She tipped her hat, closed the train doors manually, straightened her tie, and shoved her way past the crowd. It was all over before I began to register anything. Don't you realize this means that the Game Master made a huge mistake letting real people on the train?
You must be distracted with something.
Well, I've got French stuck in my mouth now. I've got the French stuck in my mouth. I need to unfrenchify. And get back the accent I was doing for them. Because I gave them similar accents. But maybe it is a trick? I don't think so. At least it didn't seem like it.
Why didn't we make a human barricade to keep Haney from getting through? I didn't want to be disqualified.
Come on, Ashton. It is too loud here. I followed Turin away from the crowd of detectives. What's wrong? Didn't you hear the tourist? The first thing to come to her mind. What happened is murder. That means it's serious. That means we may be tricked by the Game Master and participating in a huge contest to waste our time while real murderers are going uninvestigated in the entire outside world. Something Julian had said had come to mind. Like the Red-Headed League? Yes. Let's not panic yet. You sure the Game Master is that nefarious? I am not sure. He is a confusing guy. It may not have been intentional. We need to get off this train. I have a better idea. The Game Master has cut us off from the outside world long enough. But maybe if we simply asked, he'd tell us what's going on? I'm surprised I hadn't thought about it before. There was no good reason I could think of that the Game Master would withhold news from us. Clearly had the resources to provide each room with a television and even a newspaper. If I brought it up with the Game Master, it would undoubtedly force his hand. Might even start a movement. Before I could begin the worldwide revolution, the Game Master chime sounded and he began to speak in a doleful tenor voice. In light of recent events, we have decided to provide you with news about the outside world, that you will not be unduly alarmed by what filters in, so to speak. He sounds little mammoth. It's probably prepared remarks. We stood tense, waiting for the Game Master's next proclamation. The murders you've been accidentally heard about are nothing to worry about yourselves over. The truth is that we're handling it extremely well, and there is nothing to worry about. The intercom clicked off. He said there's nothing to worry about twice. Something must really be wrong. You don't know that. But doubts were quickly formulating in my mind. Please, Ashton, I have a feeling like we have to get out of here. If you won't go, will you at least help me leave? If I said I wouldn't help, she would leave anyway, so what was the point? Fine, I'll help. That's what friends do. I didn't realize we're friends until you said that, but I guess we are. Yeah. Seemed I'd friends in myself. Nice going, me. Was for the best anyway, since she so desperately wanted to leave all of a sudden. I could see where she was coming from. The claustrophobia of the contest was starting to wear down on everyone, and it was only a matter of time before it made somebody snap. How are we going to do this anyway? We're on a moving train. If we pull the mattress off the bed, I'll jump on it out of the door. What about wind resistance, and how will we get the door open? I don't know. She looked like she was faltering on her own decision to leave. We'll figure it out. I think overall this has been a good experience for me. I became a better detective. But I don't want to be stuck in here with there's a killer on the loose out there. I get it. But I have to stay here. I have my own killer to catch. I know. Thanks for helping. Hey, maybe possible to jump off the train with that secret platform. Oh, right. Yes, that could work. We still need to figure out what the best time to jump would be. Yes, I'm really doing this. It was your idea. I know. I'll do it. Okay then. Fun fact, every time the train enters or exits a highway, there's been a short delay. That's when there's the best time to jump? Yes. But we just entered a highway, so it may be a little while. Alright. I'll get the mattress. Are you sure you don't want to come with me? Yes. Alright, I won't ask again. I want you to have one of my rings. Lazy? Yes. You aren't lazy anymore. But you want me to wear it? No, don't wear it. Just keep it. If you get lazy again, slip it on. That is your punishment. Ah, I see. Good. See you soon. She left. Well, you know what? She's weird. She's weird and awkward and not very good with people for someone who is called the people detective. But she is, like, she does mean well. She just seems to genuinely care about actually solving crime. Like, real crime. Because she's the only detective in this whole fucking competition who's, like, been like, yeah, I'll leave so that I can go help people. Because I think there's something happening outside. In about an hour, I noticed signs on the highway indicating that the train on wheels will be transforming into a train mode very soon. It's time for Tronin's departure. Time to go. She dead. I think she's gonna be dead, right? Yeah. I knew it. They were setting up for it. Because she's been coughing and stuff and acting like she had a cold this whole time. I knew it. Tronin's the third victim. Chapter 48. The suspects are slowly surfacing. Tronin is dead. Murdered. What does this mean for Ashdown and the mysterious detective competition at large? I tried my best to remain calm. There wasn't anything I hadn't seen before, but still, for it happened in a place I thought was safe. The announcement chime shook me on my stupor. Detective Ashdown seemed you've entered into an exclusive club. The club of detective who knows what's going on. Please do not say anything to anyone about this. What? Let me debrief you on the situation, which we are currently handling excellently. Someone has been murdering detectives. The first detective murder was Detective Asper, back in Kentucky. Second detective murder was Detective White, in Nevada. Now, as you know, Tronin has been murdered. Is this part of the contest? It's my last hope. No. I'm asking for your cooperation. Since you are one of the only detectives who knows what's going on. Why are you keeping this a secret? If everyone knew about the situation, they could be right alert and it would be harder for the killer to surprise them, right? There aren't supposed to be any eliminations on this stage. What? If I tell anyone what happened, that'll mean I'll have to take detectives off the board. And that's a violation of the contest rules. Are you serious? These are real murderers we're talking about. That's how it has to be. Wait, are those detectives still on board? If they're dead, you'll find out momentarily. Someone knocked on my door. Detective Asper.
Detective Honor. I've been pretending to be the other detectives now and then.
Honor will help you with your investigation. Detective Slakes. Yeah, we meet again. Detective Porter.
That's right. They've been disguised as my partner, White. No, also you tend to be Tronin. You only need to walk into the crime scene with me.
This seemed very wrong. Also, the rules of the contest are being followed. No, if it were just for the stupid rule, I wouldn't agree to this. Glad to hear it. My reasoning is that the killer is more likely to make a mistake if they think that we can get away with it without anyone noticing. We didn't see how that gives us much more of an advantage than an entire train of detectives all working together to catch a killer. Well, you can't trust anyone. Killer could be any one of us, after all.
Actually, I'm inclined to agree with Ashdown. If anyone's suspicious, it's the Game Master and how incompetently he's been acting.
I assure you, I've been handling this very competently. Oh, really? What headway has been made? Or are you just going to wait for the next murder and then the next? Until everyone on the train is dead? Of course not. My biggest clue this far has been that Asper spotted talking to Red July before he died. But it wasn't Red July. So it was you, Anna? No, it was Macy Drew. What? Macy was dressed as Red July in order to sneak around on the detective side of the contest. Macy Drew works for the Game Master, right? That is correct. She's a game tester who's here to make sure the contest is cheating-proof. And she confirmed talking to Asper? Yes. This is Asper's death right before the train left Kentucky. However, it also makes Macy Drew the prime suspect. Because she's the last person to have spoken with Detective Asper. Oh no. This again. It's not Macy Drew that's doing it, though. Trying to think of who else. So I don't think it could be Woe. Because Woe was in the last car and she's not allowed to move into the other cars. So how would she have killed any of them if she's not allowed to wander around? I've already been through this. Exactly, Ashdown. I believe the detective killer in the contest is the same person you tried to put behind bars so long ago. My very own game tester, Macy Drew. No, I completely disagree. Really? Based on what? I made that mistake before. I'm not gonna make it again.
It's the only lead we have, Ashdown.
Then find another lead. It's not Macy Drew. There's another possibility. It's the hypothetical person I tossed aside before. The invisible man who was able to completely uncover his tracks and frame Marcy for the crime.
There isn't any evidence for anyone else right now.
Then I'll find some. Don't do anything yet, Ashton. The worst thing you could do is trick people off that this is happening. Stay with your new detective club. We can give it a cool name. The Game Master Loyal Servants. That sounds terrible. Work with Detective Honor to keep up the illusion. In the next crime scene, you'll enter with Honor posing as Tronin. Then you will solve the mystery by yourself while Honor sneaks out at the back. No, I'm not doing that. You can stop me from telling everybody. You can't stop me from telling everybody what happened. I know I wouldn't stop him personally. You tell anyone, you'll be eliminated. No eliminations this stage, remember? It's different to be a rule breaker in the rules of the contest, and one of the rules is you can't disclose something the Game Master tells you not to. I thought back to what Macy had said. The Game Master is not prevented from making up rules. But he could enforce a rule that was only actually enforce a rule that was in the handbook. Unfortunately, the possibility that there was a rule about disclosure was slim, but likely. Was there another way around this? I forced a partner swap. Clever. No, but swaps with me will find out Tony is dead. You'll have to tell them. Which means at least one more person will know. And if I pay over Slakes or Porter. I'm forcing a partner swap.
I'm forcing a partner swap. Now we'll have to find a new person.
They're such little shits. All of these detectives are such little shits. Tronin, the Indian one, she was murdered. She was the third murder victim of whoever's going around murdering the detectives. The Game Master's trying to pin it on Macy Drew, but we know it's not her. For a fact. We know it's not her. So now we have a case of which detective is killing the other detectives. Or it might not be a detective, it might be a criminal. But our detectives that we're following at the moment, the people who have had their partner murdered, have all just forced a partner swap. So someone else will have to be informed as to what's going on. because the Game Master was being funny with them. So they're like, okay, then I force a partner swap. Now you have to tell somebody else about what's happening. Because there's no one to swap. Very well. I guess there's no use arguing. I would rather you be with me than against me. Therefore I will tell you the other detectives.
Oh man, I thought there would be an uprising.
But Ashdown, you'll have to come up with a list of suspects. I don't have to do anything. But I will, because I want to catch this killer. As do we all. Attention! Detective Asper White, Turnin, and Sess have been eliminated. More details to follow. Detective Slaves is now paired with Detective Caprice. Detective Porter is now paired with Detective Noose. And Detective Ashdown is now paired with Detective Raoul. Great, I get Detective Caprice. Guess I'll be talking to myself most of the time. Not much of a change. See their little shits? I actually think these Slinks and Ashdown are actually pretty smart. I think both of them hold a solid chance of... They're not going to win. I don't know who's going to win. But I don't think it's these two. I think I wouldn't be surprised if something happened to Hope, the disguised detective. Because she's a key player, been a key player several times. And I also don't think Jester Guy is anything's going to happen with medieval peasant Jester over here. He doesn't seem important enough to me. Detective Rowe, is she in first class? That is correct. You will be relocated to first class. Please head there immediately. With that, other detectives have filled out my room. See you in first, Ashdown. Yeah.
You did the right thing, Ashdown. I'll see you in first as well.
See you there. There you forced my hand, Ashdown. You could be right. This may be the key forward to catching the killer. Better be. Ominous. At least, with this latest turn of events, the Game Master had gone up a notch in trustability. As I entered the first class, I bumped into someone familiar. Sess? Alright, for some reason you're being eliminated. That's alright. Guess I'll have to come clean because I don't care anymore. Game Master was only keeping me in the contest to balance the pairs. Guess the pairs are uneven or something. What do you mean, keeping you in the contest? And you're just a detective like the rest of us. It's a boring story, it makes me look really bad, so I'm just going to leave it at that. Okay then. I was kind of relieved he was leaving.
Fancy seeing you here. Oh wait, I can't see. Don't hurt yourself laughing.
Sorry. I forgot we're partners now.
Well, so what's going on? Where's our partner swap? I thought those were over.
It's complicated. The Game Master will be explaining everything shortly.
Did Trenin do something wrong?
No, she did nothing wrong. She was... Well, like I said, the Game Master will explain.
Alright, I'll catch up with you later. You should check your room. First class is a bit different from the other classes, I hear.
How so?
Will they give you copies of the Crime Tape magazine to read?
Seems unfair. There was never anything to do in fourth class to pass the time, other than interacting with humans.
Are you going to join me for dinner? So we can figure out how to work best together?
No, I'm not hungry. I don't have any appetite at all.
You could just stare at your plate.
Attention, detectives. This is the situation. Detectives Asper, White and Foreman were murdered. Truman, yes, for real. Not as part of the contest. We are currently investigating these murders. Please, be on your guard when you find yourself alone in any location. We'll keep you posted.
Ashdown, I'm sorry.
It's okay. I'm dealing with it.
We can strategize tomorrow. Stay safe.
I watched her hand feel its way around the doorframe, hold on to it for a second, then release it as she drifted away down the corridor. Exactly, I thought. There was no way to move forward. If I couldn't understand and let go of what just happened. Tronin's death had been shocking and sad. But I had to get it together. If Tronin's murderer was really the Invisible Man, then he wouldn't just stop with 3 detectives. It was highly likely there'd be another murder after the next round. Yeah, I've been the murderer the whole time, chap. Did you not know? Did you not know I've been the murderer the whole time? It was me. Detective Pigeon. I've been secretly doing it. This whole time. You do not understand how funny it is to see people making jokes about me murdering people and stuff when I know what the fucking next model is. When I know that the next model for the debut next month is in fact Evil Murder Pigeon. No, Cyril, we know the number going up isn't his murder count. We know that for a fact. It's the amount of crimes he's solved. 'Cause we were with him in the second round. We played as his partner. So we know for a fact that the number going up isn't about the murders. The number going up is about the amount of crimes he solved. Because it goes up every time he solves a crime. Slakes is more suspicious than 785. Because Slakes has multiple personality disorder. And how he solves crimes is by getting his other personality to come out. Because his other personality wants to commit crimes. And so understands how they works. But I don't think it's either of them. I think it's probably a character we haven't met yet. Because we're still only on like... I want to say we're reaching halfway point. We're getting up to the halfway point for the amount of characters. No, we can't be. I want to say we're on like 50 characters, and I know there's 200 characters. I want to say we're roughly on 50, somewhere in the 50 mark. But we know for a fact. Mort, my murder count is probably higher. In lore, my murder count is probably higher. Because I am an ancient fae that reason my models have different art styles is because I can switch between different dimensions. Like, all of the models are the same pigeon. They just are how my appearance changes based on different universes that she enters. That's the kind of the lore. That's kind of the pigeon lore. Is that I'm a fae, but meaning I'm not bound by the constraints of your mortal coil. I can just be wherever, whenever, at any time. You're just lucky that this version of me isn't evil. Smile. Yeah, this version of me isn't evil. Smile. This is the good pigeon. You're all fucked next month. You're all fucked next month when it's time to reveal the evil pigeon. The evil and fucked up pigeon. That's next month. Next month you get evil and fucked up pigeon. Yeah, you get evil and fucked up pigeon next month. The one who's done all the murders. Then next month it's when she shows up. She's very cool. She's very cool. The next model is very cool. Very different art style. Very different art style to go with the fact that she's evil and fucked up. She's evil and fucked up. She's a lot more creepypasta core. I joke, but she's actually probably more like traditional fairy tale core. Like traditional fairy tale villain core. Or like horror movie about a creature that lives in the woods core. She's a little more alien isolation than what I currently am. I'm not spoiling things. Then the iron... I'm not spoiling too much. I will spoil one thing for hype reasons and aura farming. The model reveals something about iron. Iron is involved in the next model. There is iron involved. This model in the lore has magic. And I will leave it to say that iron is involved in the next model and there is no magic. In the Pigeon lore, this version of Pigeon, this AU of Pigeon, is capable of doing magic because she is a fae. She can do like fae magic, like open portals between things and stuff. The next model has had her magic removed for some reason, and then there are consequences to that. There are consequences to Pigeon not having the ability to use her magic. Evil Pigeon, evil fucked up Pigeon. This is my evil and fucked up Pigeon. My evil and fucked up Pigeon. I'm very excited for this model, if people couldn't tell. I'm very excited for it. Right, chapter 49. The criminals are horribly contained. The Game Master has caved and revealed the situation to the detectives. But in the process, Detective Ashdown has a new partner, Detective Raoul. It was dark inside the room. Guess the Game Master wanted to make it more dramatic as usual. Raoul switched on the light for me. The nearest location. The fourth round is stage 3. A hospital room in Salem, Massachusetts. Just when I thought locations get more esoteric. The Game Master's tune echoed out.
Doesn't that jingle make you want to say, I'm sorry, your call did not go through. Please hang up and try again?
What?
Never mind, just a joke I like to make. I say it to every new partner I have.
In your last joke, did you say that to everyone as well?
Yeah, I'm pathetic.
As interesting as that is, we do have a round to get through. This mystery is entitled Cast Party. As always, here's the case file. Right, we've got Mr. Mortgage, Mr. Slips, and Mr. Elbow. We've not seen black mannequins before. They're new. Yellow mannequin meant dehydration. What would black mannequin mean? Because it can't mean burn, because burn is red. Mr. Mortgage, Mr. Slips, and Mr. Elbow were all injured in an ice skating accident. So happened that Mr. Mortgage had denied a mortgage loan to the other two just last week. In the middle of the night, Mr. Mortgage was stabbed to death. However, both suspects denied that they were able to stab him on account of their injuries. You don't have access to the autopsy report. How is it possible they all slipped and fell on the ice at the exact same day? Yeah, poison's blue. Infection is green. As you can see, there are 3 dummies. However, not all of them are victims this time. We're including suspects, so you can see how the crime scene was discovered. I hope this isn't too confusing. Definitely not. Oh, so black means still alive. Okay, black means still alive. Even though the contest had lost most of its allure after Tronan's death, I was a little intrigued by the scenario. Ritual pain shard.
I don't think that's useful for our investigation.
Yeah, I guess not. Mr. Mortgage. A banker, eh? Probably a bad guy.
Similarly inclined to think so. Which ones aren't?
True. Any reason to think the knife wasn't used to kill him?
Does it look like he was stabbed?
Yeah.
Then he probably was. Let's not overthink things.
Electrocution was red because they classed it as the same as burning. Mr. Slips. He's a suspect. So I guess that means he's still alive today.
As alive as a dummy can be, yeah.
But then the crime scene was discovered. He was in this hospital room with the others.
Amazing work, Ashdown. That is in fact the premise of the mystery.
God, I don't know, I still got it. Scratches tape on the end of it.
Interesting.
Mr. Elbow. It's a suspect, not a victim. The suspect dummies have a cornelian look.
Too bad I'll never see it.
Alright. How would you differentiate them?
Well, the lining on the dummy chests are actually raised slightly. Lets me read them. My partner tells me.
That's nice. They thought about how to make it okay for her. That's good. A knife. Murder weapon?
Not detecting anything special about it. Other than that the Game Master uses plastic props. He's cheap.
Yeah, and morally ambiguous.
Definitely.
It was time for a brilliant analysis. Okay, I have no ideas.
Really? That's not much to go on.
Maybe the suspect threw the knife across the room and it hit Mr. Mortgage square in the chest.
I think we missed something really important. Why don't you take a closer look at the crime scene? Tell me what you see.
Sounds good. Oh, nice! Mort, you got Mignon! Let me sort that out for you now. Where is it? Trying to remember where the setting is to change this. Community. Roles manager. I want to make... Mort. I've got to double check your name to make sure I'm spelling it right. Add new. Mortama Mortalis. Just to make sure that I'm getting the right person. Yep, Mortama Zero Mortalis. And we want to do VIP. There we go. Nice. No, he didn't get to keep her ring case. Before she died, she gifted him the lazy ring. Yeah, it was like she was gonna jump off the train because she thought that the murderers were happening in the outside world because some civilians broke onto the train accidentally and then mentioned the fact that there were murders happening. So there still might be murders happening in the outside world. So she was going to leave the competition by jumping off the train onto a mattress on the floor when they stopped next. And she was killed before she could do that. But she gave him a ring as a parting gift. Or we could go my net throwing, oh dear, and get out of here.
I know you're finding it hard to get excited about the mysteries, but I don't want my ranking to suffer.
Ral was still fixated on the contest. Didn't she realise there was something much more important going on? Fine, let's try to solve the mystery. Now that we're examining things more closely, let's see what his patient care sign says. He was admitted for a broken femur.
Good thing I'm always paired with sighted detectives. It'd kill the Game Master to put Braille on everything.
Yeah. Let's see what this patient care sign says. He was admitted for a broken femur.
How strange that everyone here has the exact same injury.
Yeah. Crutch. There's tape on the end of it. Admitted for a study?
If I had to guess, that's an important clue.
Yes. Looking at the sign, something came to mind. It was time to use my incredible ability. Patients with traumatic injuries are less likely to die in a hospital if they have alcohol in their blood.
Good to know, I guess.
It was good to know. But it was a good fact to know in the current... Was it a good fact to know in the current situation? Maybe not. Fun fact, Idris Elba is the name of an actor.
How's that helpful?
Well, it's gotten me thinking. What if this is a reference on purpose? What if Idris Elba is also an actor?
How's that help us, though?
I don't know just yet. Maybe it's something. Oh, that's gonna be what the hint to the bonus question is. The bonus question is how did they all get the same injury? The answer is that they're actors. We discovered all the clues. Time to piece things together. No, I do have an idea. It has to do with Idris Elba.
And yes, I think we're thinking along the same lines.
The sign says study. And if he was an actor, maybe that meant he was studying life in the hospital. Which means he was faking his injury.
Good catch, Ashdown. That's also what I was thinking. I'm not sure what else one with study would mean, and the reference to the actor is strange. As an aside, Idris can elbow me anytime.
I feel the same way. What a charismatic guy.
If he were faking his injury, then it would have been no problem for him to get up in the middle of the night and stab Mr. Mortgage. Right?
Right. Maybe this is the answer.
Hang on. This smells fishy to me. I've learned to trust my sense of smell.
What else could be the answer? Is there a clue that points us in the right direction? The crutch with the tape on the end of it. What if?
Mr. Slips taped the knife to the crutch.
Yeah. Is something wrong with that answer?
No, not at all. In fact, I think that's 100% right. Using the crutch, you could have stabbed Mr. Mortgage without even leaving his bed. That's gotta be the right answer.
Yeah. Great work, us.
So which clue was the head red herring?
I think I know. Mr. Elba was a red herring. Even though he was faking his injury, he didn't have the means to kill Mr. Mortgage.
Do we know for sure he can tap, though?
Well, what if we were wrong? What if study meant something else, and he actually did have an injury? I mean, it's a little weird that a hospital would admit him just so we could see what it was like in hindsight.
Yeah, that works. Good job, Ashdown. You impressed me a little. Let's not forget the bonus question. I always do it.
I usually forget, to be honest. How is it possible that they all slipped and fell on the ice at the exact same day?
Well, if we're right about Mr. Slits, it's not without reason he would slip on the ice intentionally in order to be admitted into the hospital. That makes it more likely that he could all do so on the same day, especially if he was out cold.
That's true. Not opposed to submitting that. I don't really care whether we get the bonus question right anyway. You are correct. Your score of this mystery is 100%. Your answer to the bonus question was acceptable.
Great work.
Thank you too. We headed out of the room. The next detective pair hurried inside, like they didn't want to look at me. I didn't take it personally.
Well, that's over. It's funny you were in 4th class this whole time, but you really aren't that bad.
To be fair, I got a bit better recently. And yeah, this Connell test is totally rigged.
I meet you at the back of the train.
Yeah. I resisted the urge to say, see you. I didn't feel like hearing another terrible blind joke. Hey, Slakes. There was something I wanted to ask you. Shoot. Where is the criminal train? How'd you get there while the train was moving? Simple. Criminal train was attached to the detective train. That's why they have you on board in the train in the lounge. So you're saying that if I just walk far enough, I'll see the criminal train? It's not even that far. See how the train is currently parked. It's right around the corner in the hospital. What's all this about? You want to visit it for some reason? Yes, I do. Because I believe the detective killer is on the criminal train. No, it's not Macy, it's probably one of the criminals. I've been thinking about the criminals that we learned about during the 2nd stage. And only one of them fits the MO of the Invisible Man. Killer Soul, the one who leaves no trace of his crimes. It's probably not him, but feel free to ask. Who knows? Maybe you'll find the real Invisible Man while you're there. But you should hurry while the game master is distracted with the crime scene. Got it. Just around the corner? Just around the corner. Okay. As I simply walked up to the train, I could tell almost immediately. Slakes was right. The back door wasn't locked. It seemed weird until I remembered that Slakes needed to access the criminal train, since he was on both sides of the contest. Hello? Hello, chum. Killer Soul. Well, that was easy. We don't get any detectives on this side. How are you? Not interested in small talk. I just have a simple question. Did you kill Tronan? Did I kill Tronin? What about the other detectives that were killed? Didn't they matter too? Of course, I only just learned who they were. Besides, if I learn who killed Tronin, then I learn who killed the others. You sure? What if there were a bunch of killers? Just answer the question. Did I kill Tronin? Yes, that one. I know who killed Tronin. At least I think I do. So your answer is no? Yes. You did kill Tronin? No. Truth is, Tronin killed Tronin. She's actually the best candidate. What? It's nonsense. Not really. Tronin was the last to get on the train. Every time. I could see it from my little window here. Ask Mackle. She'll confirm it. So, isn't the best evidence you have? She needed some way to keep the other detectives from finding the bodies too soon. Don't believe this. Just because she was the last to get on the train doesn't mean anything. Yeah, but it's a little suspicious. What's the motive you're suggesting here? Simple. Every detective killed was high ranking. Second or first class. She killed them to have you guys climb in the rankings. No, that wouldn't have worked. But it did work, didn't it? Aren't you first class now? All because the other detectives were killed. Just putting my opinion out there. It's an easy opinion. Can't trust you at all. I don't want to. I hate your stupid theory. You're only making yourself look worse. After all, you've been stuck in here in the criminal train. How do you know all this? We know a lot about the detective side from Maspinello and Seckles. And besides, I'm a slippery fellow. Fine, run away. No need to trust me. I'm just a murderer after all. After my close call with Killer Soul, do we even know that he is a murderer? Because I'm like, they just said that they're criminals. They didn't specify that all of the people on the criminal train are murderers. All of the ones we know about are murderers, but that would be a fault of the competition, right? Where the competition, the people who get to make the crime scenes of the murders are very obviously going to be people who have murdered. But there's nothing saying that all of the criminals are murderers. Some of the criminals could be thieves. Right? I wonder if the game is going to pull that, or whether I'm being too in the weeds with it. Because it wouldn't surprise me if that's the trick here, is that Killer Soul, he's got a name that makes it sound like he murders people. And his whole MO is supposed to be never leaves a trace that he was there. But what if the whole joke there is that he doesn't actually kill people? Like he never murdered at all, and that he's a thief or something. Right? I wouldn't put it past it. We'd jump to the prime suspect, in my opinion. Trying to pin crime on Tronin of all people. It's just the kind of thing the real invincible man would do. Though it was strange how she told me she was staying behind in the desert. Had it been the same with Mackle? Maybe she'd have insight, but the whole thing was ridiculous. Tronin wanted to leave right when we were finally climbing the rankings. After that, she died. So was Killer Soul suggesting she killed herself? Why would she do that? Unless she thought she was going to get caught, but no. The whole thing was too out there to consider for even a moment. Wasn't even a possibility. Wasn't going to entertain it. True! Also, chat, you're very correct. They would not find the bodies. If I did it, if I had done it in this competition, they wouldn't find the bodies. Yeah, Mort, exactly. That was exactly the joke I was going to go for, because the evil pigeon eats them. This is canonical lore to evil pigeon, is that she just eats them. Yeah, cannibalism. Everyone's favourite. Everyone's favourite trope. Cannibalism. There would be no bodies to find. Tasty, tasty, tasty. We joke, But Junie's been making cannibalism months for her lore has always been cannibalism. Pigeon's lore is not really cannibalism until recently. The cannibalism is a new trend for the new model. This model doesn't need to do cannibalism. Is it cannibalism if you're not the same species? I don't think it is it? No, I don't think it counts as cannibalism. Because she's a fae, not a human, so it's not cannibalism. Junie does cannibalism like it's going out of fashion. This is correct. And also... No, see, that's the thing. Talking about the new lore for the new pigeon model, the AU evil pigeon. She doesn't need to store them, because she doesn't kill unless... She only kills for, like, specific reasons. Only if you're, like, entering her territory, trying to attack her, or she's looking for food. She's a bit more like an animal. She's a bit more of an animal. And they will try to not spoil too much, because I think it's going to be funny when people see what the next model looks like. Right, chapter 50. The Watching Room. Part 10. As the contest turns deadly, the game masters have been forced into an uncomfortable position. In the watching room, they prepare for round 5. We'll do this one, and then we'll see what the time is. Ashtown definitely overstepped his bounds. You shouldn't have jumped in, Greg. Now look what's happening. He's gonna in restricted areas. Oh, relax, Kane. This wasn't my fault. Besides, there isn't really a reason we shouldn't allow them to visit the criminal train, other than how depressing it is. What are you talking about? We don't have jurisdiction there. Something could happen to him. But that just means it's not our responsibility. So it's all good. Anyway, now for the more important question. Will another detective be murdered? That's a good question, Greg. Would you like some coffee while waiting for the answer? No, I don't mind if I do. What's the situation on the ground, Millie? Well, the detectives are acting paranoid. Nobody knows who the killer is. Could be anyone. Heck, could be me. Or I could be the next victim. Side note, can I get back to the game master, like, right now? It's a little longer, Millie. We're going to try and keep in the contest for as long as we can. Until maybe the 4th stage. But I'm missing all the fun. Yeah, we're having tremendous fun without you, Millie. Having to plan 100 different mysteries for the 5th round. Actually, it's not that fun. Come on, Kane. Keep up the team spirit. This is fun. There are only 50 mysteries to go. Then it's back to criminal created ones. With so many mysteries, there's bound to be quality issues. Nah. Quality is quality. You just have to temper the scope of the thing you're creating. Break down your goals into many smaller goals. You sound like my old boss. He wanted there to be 10 stages in the United Kingdom competition. I told him whatever you want until he changed his mind on the 5th stage. It's best just to go along with things. That's how you best serve the team. Of course, my old boss is my new boss, but I don't tell him that. I like calling him old boss. I think we learned a lot today, Clark. In any case, on Mystery 51, what do you think about poison as the murder weapon? No, we already done poison several times. Let's do something new, like strangulation by octopus. You always bring up the strangulation by octopus. It's not new. We're not doing it. Whatever you say, Greg. Just the words I love to hear. Ooh, this is cool. This is cool. This is a cool screen. Right. What is the time? Let me look at what the time is. I can keep going. I'll go till 55 tonight. Chapter 51, Immunity. After meeting with Mastermind Killer Soul on the criminal train, a new suspect has emerged. Tronin. Ashdown refuses to believe it. Roll. I think I know who murdered Tronin. It's White and Asper.
Ah, that's good news.
The killer is Mastermind Killer Soul. He's the only one with the modus that fits how the crimes were discovered. It seems like he was able to escape from his cell without any problems. He told me that he was watching Tronin. Probably planning when to strike.
But Ashdown Tronin was found on this train. You saying that Killer Soul was able to sneak onto the detective train?
Yes. That's his modus. I also know how it could be possible. Mason Slakes confirmed there was a secret passage on the detective train to the criminal train. Secret passage is not how he killed her. Now I admit I have a little evidence.
No evidence, you mean?
Sure, no evidence. But I'm still sure it's him. Only because his smug, arrogant attitude.
Well, no, you're the one who met with him. So you really think it's him? Guess I'll play along for now. Question is, what can we do about it? You have no evidence. There's nothing Game Master could do.
I know. I'll try to think of something.
Maybe Slakes could help? He has special insight into the criminal side of the contest, after all.
You have a point. And now that I'm in first, I have access to him.
Okay, let me know when you have a plan or something. For now, I'll think over what you told me.
Alright. Roll didn't seem to be into my idea that much. Even I wasn't too sure of it, to be honest. But still, I headed to Slakes' room. The answer, if not with Killer Soul, could still lie within the criminal train. Slakes would let me in with a disgruntled expression. Hello. So you visited the criminal train? You found the murderer? Still think it's Killer Soul, huh? Yes, actually. You only increased my suspicion of him. No, really? What did you do this time? You know he can slip through the cell bars, right? No, yes. It's part of his modus. In spite of his size, he can squeeze through small spaces. A little like an octopus. Don't ask me how he does it. You don't know? I know, but you don't want to know. Anyway, I understand what you're saying. He did have every opportunity to kill Asper, White, and Tronin. Especially considering the secret passage in the detective train. Right, about that, where is it? Snakes through the roof from the other carriage. Huh? The real squeeze. Perfect for him. Yeah, but Macy and I use it as well. So it's not like he's the only one who could. True. But what really set my detective senses off was his attempt to blame the crimes on Tronin. Tronin? That's an interesting thought. No, it isn't. Doesn't make any sense. But he was still trying to make a case for it. Seems a little desperate to me. Could be right. But there's not much you can do at this point unless you have evidence. That's why I'm here, actually. Don't have evidence, but I was hoping you might have some inside scoop on the criminal train. I have plenty of inside scoops, but I have no idea if they're useful. There is one interesting thing that's been on my mind since the 5th round's coming up. Every 5th round, the detective side vote for each other. Over on the criminal side, criminals aren't allowed to vote. What happens instead is the criminals get linked to the detectives. The detective pair first is linked to the criminal pair in first, etc. We end up voting down the detective pair in first to second instead. The linked criminal pair also goes to second. So, in other words, if I figure out which detective pair Killer Soul and his partner will be linked to, and I convince people over here to downvote that detective pair, then we could potentially eliminate Killer Soul. Well, there's no eliminations this stage. Right. The next stage is ours. I don't know why you do that, though. Because, even if it isn't him, the possibility is likely enough that having him in the contest is a danger to everyone. True. If any criminal could pull it off, it'd be him. Well, if no other leads come up by the 5th round of stage 4, it's an option. It's probably better to wait anyway. Why? Because going into this round, the detective pair Killer Soul is paired up with is you and Rail. Really? If I'm remembering right, he's ranked 5th. I'm ranked 5th? Yeah, that's what I said, Mr. Redundant. I've got to stop being so redundant. Yeah, you gotta stop. Well, I've given you enough to think about for now. Why don't you take the time before we get to the next location to search your brain for other leads? I'm not sure I have time to take the time. Every single round has been followed by a murder. That's the pattern. Except for the last round. Which means there may still be one coming. Right, that's interesting. Wonder if the killer really did get scared off by the Game Master's announcement. Hope so. See you, Slakes. You two are detective? My name's Ashdown. Alright, like the cartoon. What? Forget it. There was, of course, another possible reason why there hadn't been a murder this time. The killer had died after round 3. But it wasn't a productive thing to think about. I got back to my room and sat down on the bed without a second thought. Ouch. Something sharp poked me. It was a little golden building. What is this? Kind of looked like the next round, really. At the Empire State Building. This game is fucking insane. There's so many, like, characters to keep track of. I'm glad that I've kind of been able to push some of them out of my brain as new ones come in. Like characters we only met in the first couple. I thought he got needled. I did too. That was my thought, was like, oh fuck. Are we going to switch character again? Because it's been a bit since we switched. Chapter 52. The Empire Crumbles. It's the start of the final round of Stage 3, which is apparently taking place at the Empire State Building. Has the contest's budget really soared that high? Game Master really went all out on this one. We were faced with the towering mass of the Empire State Building, tourist trap, cultural icon, and now I anticipated fake murder mystery location. No, Ashdown isn't going to be the pro tag. It'll swap again. I guarantee it will swap again. I would not be surprised if at some point we play as one of the criminals. There's so many characters in this, Cyril. I'm not joking when I said there's 200 characters. I saw it when I looked at the Steam page for this game, on the first episode we played. There's 200 characters. We've got to swap again at some point. Explains the quickly degrading quality of the food on the train. It's hard to put so much effort into a steak sandwich when your salary is reduced so that your boss can rent out the Empire State Building. Yeah, I should be more impressed with this building, but I'm dead tired. Thinking about this city makes me sleepy. Hey, it's the city that never sleeps. How dare you? It's the city that can stay awake as long as it wants. I'm not its mom. On that odd note, we entered. Who the fuck is paying for this competition? Who the fuck is paying for all of this? They got a custom train that can change from a train to a car. And now they've hired the Empire State Building. How much fucking money are they putting into this? There was the famous lobby, now overrun with detectives. Try not to be too starstruck. Honestly, I wasn't much of a tourist, so I didn't spend much time stopping to stare at things, which some of the detectives were doing. Something's wrong. I can't hear the television screens. Don't we need those to vote? Phew, I thought something was actually wrong for a second. Let's just ask the waiter what's going on. The Kung Fu Master waiter was at the information desk.
Please enter the elevators.
Where are the screens for all the rankings?
Everything will be explained in the elevator. But let's not go for we're going to kill you in the elevator.
Let's go for getting in the elevator. And so we got in the elevator.
Now I can hear a television. All is well.
Or is it? Hello, I'm your host, the Game Master, now rendered in a stunning 2D animation. Welcome to the mystery experience of your lifetime. The waiter is a character that we have interacted with as well. She is called Haney, and she is the winner of a previous contest. This isn't the first time the detective contest has been done, but she won the version of the contest for Canada. We met the winner of the contest for the UK as well. I get the feeling that, yeah, she's from the she won the Canadian version of this contest. And is still trying to figure out, that's the reason she's here, is because she's trying to figure out who the Game Master is. That's her whole deal, is that she's secretly trying to figure out who the Game Master is. And Clown Boy thinks that she is the best detective in the competition. He thinks she's better than the person in number 1. but she's not a contestant, so she doesn't count for anything. She's very pretty. She's cool. I like Haney. She's competent, which is rare for these characters. Much anticipated 5th round of Stage 3. The Trenchcoat Express is taking you all over the best parts of America. Like Random Art Museum in Delaware. But now we've arrived at the Empire State Building, an iconic structure. But now it's full of murder. Yes, tonight is called the Night of 100 Mysteries. Let me explain how it works. There are 36 detectives left. But if you'll recall, at the start there were 100. There also happens to be just over 100 floors in this building. On every floor, from floors 2 to 100, and in one in this building, there is a bomb. The bomb is attached to a dummy of a detective who is either was or is in the detective contest. In order to disarm the bomb, you must solve the mystery. Fun, right? Here's the catch. This 5th round is different from all the previous ones. It's even different from the previous rounds in this stage. Remember the no eliminations rule? Remember how I said it was for the whole stage? I lied. It's out of the window. But if you don't solve the mystery and save yourself from blowing up, you'll be eliminated. This is very confusing. If you do solve the mystery and save the dummy representing you, that counts as a point. However, it's not so easy to find your dummy. Each floor is given a special label on this board. Solve the clue and figure out which floor your dummy is on. Then solve the mystery and save yourself from elimination. It's that simple. You might be thinking, what happens if I solve a mystery with a dummy of a detective who was eliminated? What happens is, you get a minus point. These mysteries are red herrings, if you will, and you should not solve them. If you solve another detective's mystery, it would count as a point for you and a minus point for them. However, it will mean they won't be eliminated because their dummy got saved. Got it? Whichever pair has the most points wins the round. Anyway, I hope you understood all that because I'm never going to say it again. Now press the right button for your floors, everyone. Goodbye. What did he say?
Looks like we'll be splitting up.
Oh, what? Oh, right. I was completely confused by the enormous exposition dump.
It's down, it's simple.
Find your floor on the board. Solve the mystery. Then find other detectives' floors and solve the mysteries before they can. Won't they already be there?
Not with these slow elevators and confusing clues.
But Royal was wrong, it wasn't simple. If I'd heard the Game Master right, no eliminations rule was lifted. That meant the plan I discussed with Slakes was impossible. And this could be my one chance to boot Killer Soul out of the contest. Actually, I won't be solving my mystery. I want to be eliminated.
What? Einstein, we're a team. If you're eliminated, I'm eliminated.
I know, but Slakes told me that during this round, detectives and criminals paired and linked with each other. If we're eliminated, then the criminal in 5th place is eliminated. And the criminal in 5th place is Killer Soul.
Oh, wow. I don't know about this.
Think about it, Rail. It's a prime suspect. If he's out in the contest, he won't hurt anybody.
But if it wasn't him, then we're out of the contest for no reason. If we're gonna do something like this, you're gonna need actual evidence, even circumstantial, you know, trickable prime suspects though. How certain are you right now?
Pretty certain. He's got motive. They're in high-ranking detectives, so it probably would have been hard for him to beat if he climbs to the top.
But Ashton Tronin went in high-ranking detective, and there wasn't been a murder since she died.
Really? The Tronin theory?
Makes just as much sense as Killer Soul theory.
Well, I disagree.
Excuse me.
Someone else had entered our elevator.
We haven't met before. I'm Royal's previous partner.
Detective Noose.
That's me. What are you guys still doing here? Every other elevator's left the lobby.
Yeah, we really should be working to solve the mysteries. Yes. Wait, what are you doing here?
I was worried about Royal. Since I saw her elevator didn't leave.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, these clues range from extremely hard to extremely easy. See, mine's sick but solving. You push the button and you go to the floor.
We're actually in the middle of a very important...
Royal, I've already solved your floor. It's in very badly translated braille. I'll punch the floor for you. Okay? There you go. Have fun now. Goodbye.
She darted out as the doors closed.
Huh, that was my old partner. Pretty condescending, always doing stuff for me that I could do myself. But we got along, I guess.
That's nice, Raoul. It seems that we're an impasse here. But it's alright. I won't make you eliminate yourself just for this.
Yeah, that's nice of you. Prefer not to be eliminated. Or be demoted. So let's stop wasting time. Do you know your floor?
Yeah, I think so. This one gathers facts.
Seems about right. I feel we've reached my floor. Time to solve my mystery. Bye.
Yeah, bye. I'm of the opinion that it's neither people. It's not Killer Soul and it wasn't Trunan. I think it's someone else. Game Master. If one detective is in a pair eliminated, what happens? Now there's a good question. If one detective fails to solve the mystery and rescue themselves, their partner will have a chance to save them by solving their mystery before the round ends. If they don't, then that detective is eliminated. Thanks. So it was possible. A way I could eliminate Killer Soul without hurting Raoul, maybe. But it was a toss-up. I didn't know if I was linked to Killer Soul or whoever his partner was. It was a big risk. But it's the only risk I didn't know. Game Master, am I currently linked to Mastermind Killer Soul? Yes, you are. This was a big clue. If the Game Master was willing to tell me that, he might have been thinking what I was thinking. Rooting for me to eliminate myself and take Killer Soul down with me. And if we agreed with that, then maybe he agreed that Killer Soul was the Invisible Man. The doors opened, revealing the 25th floor of the Empire State Building. Alright, the office Empire State Building was filled with boring offices. There was a simple-looking mystery in the middle of the floor, and a dummy which was supposed to represent me. The timer was almost out. Just a few more minutes and I would be eliminated. He is making a lot of reaches, but then again, he's not a very good detective. That's why he was so low down in the competition to begin with, is because he's not a particularly good detective. I want Woe back. I miss Woe. Good. Nobody's tried to solve the mystery yet. My meandering thoughts were cut short by one of the 4 elevators behind me coming to a quick halt.
Sorry.
Never step on my foot again.
See you later.
Norman's former nerdy partner. You solve the mystery and give a bonus point. Too late, I'm already here.
I was about to say the same thing to you.
Why?
This is my flaw. I gather facts about people and stick them on cards. That's my method.
What? Gathering facts is my method.
But you stick them on cards.
I don't have time for this. You're just trying to trick me into letting you into the crime scene. It won't work. If this was your flaw, the clue would say something about cards.
How about having cards literally in the mystery?
Well,
Look.
he approached the dummy in the corner. Lifted its head.
This is obviously me. It has my brown eyebrows and eyeglasses. And it's bald.
What? My dummy wouldn't be bald. I know dummies bald all the time.
No, it wouldn't. And I would know. I was just in your crime scene.
Did you solve?
No, I didn't. The Game Master said you're supposed to solve your own mystery first.
I don't recall that, but whatever. This better not be a trick.
No trick, just very similar methods.
I tried to calm down. The plan wasn't ruined yet. I just needed to get out on my floor. I got back to the elevator. What other floor could mine be? Facts over feelings. The only other fact-related clue. I pushed the bottom floor 94. When the doors were finally opened, I was horrified to discover someone was already there. Bam, 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 and the rhythms of crime have kicked into crescendo. The facts have been felt. I rest my case. That is correct. Your answer to the bonus question was also acceptable. Fantastic. Bum, bum, bum. That's the sound of a trumpet. Trumpet to me. Fantastic. Marvelous. Aren't you glad, Ashface? You're almost eliminated. Good thing I had your back. Sorry about the minus point. Be a little faster on that to the beat next time. You can pay me back later. He glided towards the elevators with a quick click in his step, making the sound of a jazz cymbal with his teeth all the while. I stood there in shock. He just ruined my last chance to eliminate Killer Soul, and he didn't even know it. That's what you get for having some detectives that are very similar. No, Cyril. That dude doesn't suck. That dude, if you think about it from the perspective of every fucker else in this competition, that dude has just done him a massive favour. Because it means that our character, that Ashdown, can't be eliminated. He can't be kicked out of the competition now. Because from the perspective of everyone who doesn't think it's Killer Soul, which it isn't, There's no reason for Ashdown to get kicked out at this point. So he basically just did Ashdown a favour. I also didn't like his attitude. He was very cocky. But he did, from all accounts and purposes, do our character a favour. From everyone else's perspective, and really in general, because we all agree that it's not Killer Soul that killed the other detectives. I don't even know what the motive was, because he's just assuming it's the detective killer from the past. And then it's not that those specific detectives were killed for another reason. Because it could be that the 3 detectives that have been killed this game aren't anything to do with his old case. He's making a lot of leaps in logic here. He's assuming it's connected to his old case, when it could not be at all. He's assuming that Tronan is nothing to do with it, when we know for a fact that she was, for a few days, she had been having sickness symptoms, like constant coughing, hard, like fast breathing, because she brought it up herself that she was having flu symptoms for days before she died. We don't know that what the connection is between the 3 people that have died. We don't even know if it is a killer that killed them. He's making a lot of leaps in logic here. That means that there's no point getting kicked out right now for this. You could get kicked out later, because the killer isn't killing any more people. They stopped killing as soon as Tronan was killed. So it might be the fact that they've killed all the people they wanted to kill and nobody else is going to die anyway. In which point, you're better off waiting until the competition is over to try and grab them. Because if they get to the end of the competition, the prisoners, only one prisoner gets released at the end. Like, only one prisoner gets the chance to be released back into the public. All the other prisoners go straight back to prison when they're kicked out. So your best bet is just to not try and solve it until, as long as no more murders keep happening, your best bet is just to wait until the end of the competition, when everything, like at the very end, check that, and then make sure that the person doesn't get released back into the public. If they don't, then you've won because they're in prison. They're not thinking about it particularly cleverly. It's a waste of energy to be worrying about it right now. I do also think the cigarettes being brought up, it's very Chekhov's gun, isn't it? The fact that she was a big smoker, but that was only brought up like once or twice. That she was a big smoker and had like a raspy voice. Because the smoke could have also been being used to cover up the smell of something else. I wouldn't put it past it. There's a couple ways this could go right now, but it's a pointless effort to be worrying about any of this as if you were a detective in the competition right now. Because you're not solving anything by doing any of this. You're just making it harder for everyone else. Chapter 53. The Prime Person. Detective Swinger just inadvertently ruined Ashdown's plan to eliminate Killer Soul. What will Ashdown do now? Get another plan out the window. All thanks to a lousy mistake. There had to be something else I could do. Detective Ashdown, Detective Swinger just solved a mystery, giving you a minus point. However, your dummy is safe, and so are you. You will not be eliminated this round. And if you like, you're allowed to solve the mystery yourself in order to remove the minus point. Admitting new rules again, are we? It's my contest. Just trying to keep things exciting. You detectives are so ungrateful. After screwing up this badly. It was the least I could do to make sure Raoul's ranking wasn't damaged thanks to me. Fine. Give me the case file. There you go. They did say that, didn't they? I completely fucking forgot that, because that was said at the beginning of this chapter. Before they got on the train, it was said that there is no smoking on the train I'd completely forgotten that. Okay. Yeah, I'd completely forgotten that they literally said no smoking on the train. So if she wasn't, she must not have been smoking them. Okay, she's more and more suspicious. Stage 3, round 5. A night of 100 mysteries. Facts over feelings. Mr. Madden. Mr. Mandan was found dead at his computer. He had been attempting to blow the whistle on an illegal practice of the mysterious spy organisation he was working for. You do not have access to the autopsy report. Special bonus. Why didn't Mr. Manson, a trained spy, protect himself from death? Another chance to unseat Killer Soul would appear once I reached the next stage. Hopefully it wouldn't be too late. Spill a cup of coffee. Use one myself. No wires coming out of a nearby keyboard. Seemed unsafe. But he wasn't electrocuted. Computer with staticky screen. Because the game master didn't know what to put there. Mr. Manston slumped in his chair. What I felt like doing. Broken heart. I discovered all the clues. It's time for my analysis. Okay, think Ashton. It's not about Killer Soul, but about this stupid mystery. It seems really easy. Talking to myself wasn't helping. What did I know that would be useful? The victim dummy was white with a broken heart. I'd seen that somewhere. The mystery of the keyhole? I remember because Rose had made some joke about it. Yeah, that was the one. Electrocution. Counterintuitively, electrocuted dummies have broken hearts. Yes, that had to be it. There had been one in the pool mystery too. Okay, Mr. Manston had been electrocuted. How did that happen? Maybe one of my facts could help. I struggled to get it together. Water conducts electricity, so coffee would too. Obvious, the solution was really, really obvious. So, Mr. Manson wasn't in it at all. He was just shocked to death when he spilled his coffee over the live wires. What a fool. Been an easy mystery, but my job wasn't over. Time to identify the red herring. I was having difficulty thinking what the right thing to point to was. The coffee seemed right. Had the game master meant me to think that Mr. Manton died from poisoning? I guess that was the best option. Ugh, stupid bonus question. I'd almost forgotten it. But soon my misery would be over. Why didn't Mr. Manson, a trained spy, protect himself from death? What? Didn't make any sense. Mr. Manson didn't need to protect himself. Nobody killed him. Unless I was wrong about that. Wait. No, the question was just phrased vaguely. Since his death was an accident, maybe those wires were an accident too. The reason he didn't protect himself must have been repairing his keyboard, so he wouldn't have been suspicious of the wires. The solution you submitted was correct. However, you made too many errors. Your ranking will suffer as a result. I boarded the elevator again, feeling a little better. There wasn't any time left for me to try and solve the extra mysteries. But solving a mystery, even a fake one, had given me a false sense of being productive. I reached the lobby.
The results are coming in.
Great.
Something wrong? You solved your mystery, right?
Yeah.
Good. I was so worried about being paired with you, but you weren't too bad in the last round.
The rankings came in.
That round was fun. Made some new enemies.
Well, I'm glad you're having fun.
It's a bit passive-aggressive.
We're still in 5th. Only because I failed.
I thought you said you solved your mystery.
I failed to take down Killer Soul.
We'll get him next time.
The situation's very high stakes, real. We're talking about human life here.
Calm down. Nobody's died since round 3. Maybe it was Cess all along. Wasn't he eliminated after round 3? What was up with that?
I still don't know. Don't think it was Cess.
What advice is, even when you like a certain suspect, keep all those suspects on the table.
Yes, people keep saying that to me. I'll try. It was something I needed to be more aware of. Before I had fixated on Macy instead of the Invisible Man. Was that now? Was I too fixed on Killer Soul? Probably. But who else was there? Could the killer really be a detective? Whoever it was, they'd covered their tracks very well. Okay, everyone, the 5th round is over, and the 3rd stage is officially over. To my surprise, all 36 of you managed not to be eliminated. It's So in a way, it was like there was no eliminations rule wasn't lifted after all. In any case, it made more exciting finale to this stage. Please board the train for the last time as we head to the location of the 4th stage. It was the last time I'd ever be on the train. I would miss it a little, to be honest. Hey, Ashdown. What are you doing in first class? I moved up, I guess. Small miracle. No big deal. But more importantly, I got Turnan's old room last round. And while I was double checking it to be sure my stuff was moved here first correctly, I found this. One of Turnan's rings. Yes. Yeah, one that says danger. But watch. If you squeeze it a little, a small needle popped out of the ring. What? It's a poison needle. Using this, Turnan would have poisoned White, Asper, and eventually herself. You kidding me? Mako, you were Turnan's partner a really long time. Do you really think? Turnan, I'm sorry, but the facts are facts. Turnan had a murder weapon. Turnan was nowhere to be seen at the time of the murders. And now Turnan's dead, and there have been no more murders. Am I surprised? Yes. But looking back, it does make sense. Remember how she didn't want to be part of NSA's cheating plan? That's probably because she already had her own plan. To murder high-ranking detectives. I know you want to think everything's fine now, but I have a terrible feeling that Turnan was just a scapegoat.
Kinda like how I was a scapegoat, right, Ashton?
Macy.
I agree with you, Ashton. I think the Invisible Man is playing a game with us. Before I wouldn't have agreed. But this ring reeks of planted evidence.
Planted evidence? Really? It's not just the ring, it's all about the other stuff I mentioned. What was Turnan always wandering off before it was time to go?
Come on, Mako, it's easy to explain, as long as you aren't dead set on framing Turnan. Ashton, you should know this.
I did find it weird when Turnan had left to explore the desert, despite being overheated. If it hadn't been to murder Detective White, what could have compelled her to do that? Something popped into my mind, something weird that happened right after we got back on the train. I always find it strange. Turnan caught a cold after being in the desert. I don't know how that could have happened. Well, she was always coughing, but it wasn't because she had a cold, it was because she was a smoker.
There you go.
What?
Turnan stayed behind because smoking isn't allowed on the train. She was just having a smoke.
That makes sense as another explanation, but that doesn't completely exonerate her. What about this ring?
The timing of the discovery of the ring is suspicious. Turnan wasn't being taken seriously as a suspect, so the true culprit felt it necessary to plant evidence. However, I'm not ruling it out as the real murder weapon. Someone other than Turnan could have used it.
Sure. It's not like I want Turnan to be the culprit. I just want this to be over. We all do. I think I know who did it. Mastermind Killer Soul.
I really don't think so, Astro.
His modus is the only one that can allow him to do it. It's also the only one who first suggested to me that Turnan could be the culprit. And if it's not him, then it must be a detective.
I wouldn't count him out, but he's not my prime suspect.
Why not?
Because he's not some supernatural being. He's good at hiding, he's good with illusions, but there's no way he'd be able to leave his cell without the Game Master knowing.
Why?
Don't tell anyone, but all the criminals have tracking chips. They just don't know it.
So that's why Slicks didn't bring it up.
Yeah, he has no idea. However, the tracking chips don't exist for the detectives.
So you're saying it's possible for a criminal to commit those murders?
Yeah.
So the Invisible Man must be the detective. I've already ruled out Turnan. Well, we have. Well, if it wasn't Turnan, who was it? The only other person we have considered is you, Macy. But I refuse to believe it. What? Why Macy?
When I was debriefed on the situation, I mentioned that I had spoken to Detective Asper before he died. That makes me the last person to saw him in person. Oh, was I? What if it was actually the way the true culprit disguised the time of the death? The keyword here is disguised. Maybe the Invisible Man disguised themselves as Asper to throw us off with the trail, and the only detective whose method is to disguise themselves as... Detective Honor, obviously. Detective Honor is the only one who could have been able to traverse the train entirely unnoticed. They would have been able to take any form of any of us. They truly are invisible. I thought so. No, chat. I thought there was something weird about Macy. She didn't look the same. That's not Macy Drew.
The eyes. I knew something was odd, but I didn't say anything in case it was me being delusional, because I am sometimes. That face isn't Macy Drew's face. That's Honor's face. The eyes, they're not Macy Drew's eyes. Macy had different eyes. Unless I'm being delusional again, I'm pretty sure that this isn't Macy. I'm pretty sure that this is Detective Honor, pretending to be Macy. Because she looks different. She looks slightly different. Like, enough that my brain said it to me. My brain said to me, she looks different, but I don't know if I'm being delusional here. To throw it off the scent. Because if they think, if they've killed Macy, and have hidden Macy's body somewhere where no one will find it, they can assume Macy's identity. And then everyone thinks Detective Honor's gone missing. But really, Macy is here. It's so that they can drop off of the map, basically, so they can disappear. I'm gonna check. I'm gonna go back in the VOD and just like check that maybe the face is the same. I need to scrub the VOD a quick second. Edition. Because I'm pretty sure the face is different. I'm pretty sure the face is different. I think the face is different. Right, we're looking for Detective Macy Drew. No, I think I'm getting floppy with it. I think I'm going insane. I think I'm seeing things that aren't there. I think I'm seeing things that aren't there. Because I think... I'm still looking for what her sprite looks like. But I think I'm maybe just seeing things that aren't there. Where is she? Where is she? No. I think I was being delusional. I think her sprite is the same. So this is Macy throwing Honor under the bus.
The more I think back on it, there's something not quite right about Detective Asper.
If you're right. Everyone has some explaining to do. I think I was being delusional. I think that no, it wasn't Honor. Door 2, Honor's room. Yeah, not first.
Come in.
We have a few questions, Honor.
We have a few questions, Honor. It's about the murders? Yeah. I do know the last person to talk to Asper. I'm starting to suspect that might have been Asper after all. In fact, it was you. Can you offer any evidence to the contrary? There were 3 Red Julys running around at that time. There was Red July, there was me, and there was you. In a pretty bad disguise. All of this was confirmed by the Game Master's cameras.
That is correct. Honor appears on the train cameras before Asper talked to Macy.
There must be some trick. Are you sure it was Honor and not Red July?
Red July is also on camera at that time. Red July and Honor are detectives with special status in the contest. As the highest ranked detectives, they go first, and therefore finish solving the mysteries first. They were on the train before Asper was murdered. Would have been useful to know this before we stormed in here. I'm not at your beck and call. As it happens, I was in the middle of a very interesting puzzle. Now carry on with your mystery solving.
Oh, you're back at square one, then. Macy, you're saying you think the true culprit was wearing an Asper disguise? Yeah. The hair was just a little too yellow, but after realizing the Invisible Man could be in the contest, the details slipped my mind. It happens, but this is a bigger clue than you think. I think I've just solved the mystery.
No way.
Do you get it, Ashdown?
Yes, I think I do. The true culprit wanted us to jump to conclusions. He wanted us to accuse Tronin of the crime. He wanted us to accuse Honor of the crime, but he didn't realize that Honor would provide that strong of an alibi.
Well, none of us thought that ahead that far. It's a reasonable mistake.
The key is, there wasn't just one person in this contest who's great with disguises. There isn't one person who's great with facts, or one person who's good at analyzing people, or one person with split personality. Because there's someone in the contest who can do anything we can do. The detective who copies other methods. Detective Genter. There was a flurry of motion outside the door. The sound of someone running frantically away.
It's him.
Without a moment's hesitation, I threw open the door and chased after him. I ducked through the passage. Genter. Glad it's you, Ashdown. You're probably the only detective who wouldn't be able to catch me. Things you've failed to do so for decades. Yeah, the rigged explosives were my doing. It was the murder of Mr. York. Macy had it right. It was all a trap to catch her. But I never thought you would blame her for the crime. It was a massive gift on your part. As your subsequent blaming of Mastermind Killer's soul, you sure you aren't my secret accomplice? So many presents. It's just like Christmas every day. Yeah, I made some stupid mistakes along the way. So what? I've got you now. You think so? Train's going to come to a highway soon. There'll be a brief stop. That's when I make my escape. I'm not gonna let you. Did you bring handcuffs? Are you prepared to arrest me? No, of course not. Because you're an unprepared person, Ashdown. His face. You are someone who jumps to conclusions and then stubbornly stands by them. The reason it was easy for Detective Gender to outsmart you is because you are just not that smart. Your lack of intelligence is an insecurity of yours. You will seize any opportunity you get to prove your intelligence, even when you're factually wrong. That's what's so hilarious about you, Ashdown. Fun fact, you are a loser. As much as Detective Gender would kill for a method to call his own, he would die before killing you to killing yours. You were right back then. As long as I'm around, there's 2 of everything. 2 of everything. It deeply bothers me. Could never be the only practitioner of my abilities. Unless I killed the original. So there you go. You even get my motive. All the while I waste your time so that I can escape. The train was approaching the highway. Genter was right. Transition was to wheel mode would mean a short stop. If I could just distract him when that happened. You're not wasting my time. This is very interesting. To come to think of it, I vaguely remember you. You were the guy who brought the department coach some of the other detectives. That's right. I learned from all of them, but I learned nothing from you. Your method is boring and worthless. Maybe to you. I'd like to see you copy this. Fun fact, this platform retracts when you push a button. Really? You're going to murder me? If you don't turn yourself in, Too late. We're at the highway. Goodbye, Ashton. Thanks to Detective Lana's method. You'll never find me again. What was that? Looks like we're not going to the highway after all. Damn it. You're gonna turn yourself in. You know the answer, Ashton. I refuse to be imprisoned. I will always be free. In an instant, his neck snapped upon impact with the ground. And so, I finally closed the case of the Invisible Man. Though some might have seen his death as cathartic, I knew Tronin wouldn't have seen it as true justice. The Invisible Man had been determined to deny me closure, even though I'd gotten a full confession. There was part of me still searching for answers, but I had no more questions left to ask. Other than, what now?
Even though you didn't manage to arrest him, you figured it out in the end.
No, I didn't. Don't try to give me credit, Macy. I don't deserve any credit at all. This whole case has been a failure after failure on my part. And now he's dead, ended in failure too.
Ashton, it's really not your fault.
No, it is. I didn't go over the clues enough. I was too focused on my own ill-conceived assumptions. I had a chance to really improve and I didn't take it.
Sounds like you learned a lot.
Yeah. With all that in mind, I've decided. I'm staying in the contest. Even though my mission is complete, everything I've learned, and how far I've gotten in the contest, feels like if I just stopped here, it would be a waste.
Didn't even consider that you'd leave, but I'm glad you're staying. Yeah, I want you to leave.
I'm happy you're staying too. Less logical work for me. And I'm not doing it for you. You're extremely unhelpful in catching the killer. Well, you say you have a point. We'll say you have a point. I should have probably pointed out to you earlier the killer Saul was being tracked at all times. However, I was not aware that you'd visited the criminal train, or that you were eyeing him as a suspect. What? I thought you managed the criminal train just like everything else in this contest. I am. However, you can't be everywhere at once, though I try my best.
I'd better be going. I have to file paperwork with the Game Master about everything that's gone on.
Paperwork, nice.
Yeah, see you around, Ashdown. This is gonna be fun, Ashdown. We're gonna win this contest. Together.
I don't think that's how the contest works, Willows. But I appreciate the sentiment. Detectives will be arriving in the next location soon. Ready yourselves for the 4th stage. I think that was a good twist as well, actually. I wasn't expecting Genta. I'd completely fucking forgot Genta existed, to be fair. To be fair, I'd completely fucking forgot that Doppelganger Detective existed. If I'd have remembered, he would have been my first fucking point of call, because he can copy everyone's shit. But I'd just, like, completely forgotten that he existed. We're in for quite a trip. The train pulled up to the next location. Seemed like an empty beach. I had no idea what would come next, but at least I had my friends with me, after what we'd just been through. We could face anything together. We'll do this. This will be the last chapter for the night, I think. We'll do this chapter and we'll call it the last one for the night, because it's a watching room chapter, which are usually shorter. Chapter 55, The Watching Room, Part 11. The 5th round of the 3rd stage is finally over, and so is the mystery of the Invisible Man. How are the Game Masters handling these new developments? Oh. Wow, Detective Genta. That came out of nowhere. How did we not catch that on the monitors? It's your fault, Kane. You didn't count for something like this in the crime scenes.
Right, unless so many violent security cameras in stock. We use them all on the trains.
The 5th can always buy more of them. It's like a mega billionaire. Bill grimaced as usual. I know I'm not supposed to mention him, but come on, I was dissing Kane, so it's allowed. Yeah, I'll allow it.
Excuse me?
So the 4th stage. This should be good. Is the site prepared? Site's prepared, but the boat's not in the dock yet. What about the criminal side? Same deal from what I hear. Guys. Alright, almost forgot you existed at Mally. I just found Detective 790 poking through my stuff. He paid it off, but I think he's starting to catch on. We need to get you out of there. Yeah, that's what I've been saying, Clark. Hold on, I have to go. Talk later. And that was Melly, everyone. We know. Yeah, it was sort of a closing remark kind of thing to say. Really appreciated, Clark. But now, something more serious. This fan is a total mess. Oh, I'll clean it up. Millie isn't here to do it. Yep. Don't worry, there'll be plenty of messes for Millie to clean up. There is no way she'll be able to clean up that ginger mess, though. We're still talking about this. Wonder if we should put out a statement, like the murderer's been found or something like that. Mean we didn't already? Well, no. Yeah, we should get on that. You do it, Kane. Why not, Greg? Do you want to draw straws? No. Right, no Melly. This is why Melly should be back here with us pronto. She's missing out on the team building we've been doing. And she's been totally unhelpful with Tads. Yeah, we all agree this time. With Genta gone, the pairs are uneven. So we can just eliminate Melly, problem solved. Wait, Greg, if we eliminate Melly, wouldn't that be a bit suspicious? She's currently high in the rankings. There's no justification for it. True. We'll just tell her to do really badly on the second round of stage 4. Then we'll eliminate her. Problem solved. Still a problem, Greg. Great, now what? The pairs are still uneven. If we eliminate Melly for doing badly in the contest, we'll have to eliminate her partner. Oh, that's simple. We'll just eliminate Genta's partner. Detective Romgan. She didn't do anything wrong, though. Genta died, but that wasn't her fault. I know, Clark. But how do you want me to solve this? With sparkling of fairy power? It is pretty unfair, though, so we'll have to write her a touching note. People always like my touching notes. I've never received one myself, but I'm sure that's the case. Who should we eliminate with Melly, then? When we kick her out in stage 4. Who's been really annoying? Jillian. Agreed. The downside is that Melly will have to endure Jillian's fangirling for a whole round. Sounds like an upside to me. I will laugh at it. Then it's settled. Can't wait for my new fabulous office. Time to get out of this stuffy van. Looks like the boat's arrived. We should make an announcement. I'll do it. Let the 4th stage commence. Okay. We have reached chapter 4. That was a good twist. That overarching twist with that one there, where it was Genta the whole time, was good. I wasn't expecting that. I really wasn't. I completely forgot he existed. Like, entirely. Who can we raid tonight? Who have we got? Blub, 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 blub. Don't have very many people today. I think because we've streamed a bit later than normal. Let's raid Hydra. Because he's playing... Let's raid Hydra because he's chilling. I wish I'd known that the ad was fucking playing, because I wouldn't have done it. Right. Thank you everyone for coming in. I've been Pigeon Wishes, your resident Pigeon Fae from the UK. I will see you all on Monday for D&D. Have a good weekend, everyone. Ta-ra!